Hey, good morning, Vooka Nation. Hopefully, you guys are doing good. Happy Thursday. Welcome to the Vooka Breakfast Show. My name is Banile Mngci, and today we've got a jam-packed episode. There's quite a lot to unpack. It's Spiritual Thursdays, and we're trying to align everything that has to do with your mental well-being, your chakras, your energy, but it's all Spiritual Thursday, and today's episode will be very insightful. So, as part of our tradition, we've got picture of the day, and as you can see the pictures that are cycling behind me, today's picture of the day is the Lesedi Cultural Village, and it is a vibrant living museum that showcases the rich traditions of South Africa's diverse ethnic groups. It is nestled in the cradle of humankind near Johannesburg. Lesedi Cultural Village offers an immersive experience into the lifestyles, the folklore, and customs of Zulu, Xhosa, Pedi, Basotho, and Ndebele tribes. Visitors can explore traditional homesteads, enjoy authentic cuisines, and witness captivating song and dance performances that celebrate Africa's heritage. The name Lesedi, meaning light in Sotho, reflects its mission to illuminate the cultural tapestry of the nation. So if you do have time, Vooka Nation, make sure you travel to the Lesedi Cultural Village and experience it for yourself. There's quite a lot that we have to unpack today, so we're going to dive into a short break, and then when we come back, we're going to give you your news headlines as well as your sports headlines. Stay tuned, don't change that dial.
My name is Moketi Maimane.
Catch us every weekday morning, Monday to Friday between 7 and 10.
Right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show, brought to you by the Blinko Network.
Always bringing you the best content possible.
Vooka Nati, wake up with us and kickstart your day on a great note.
This is your energetic start to the day.
And now let's give you your news headlines. First in the news headlines, 20 million cocaine seized en route to Cape Town in Midrand. The SAPS seized 20 million rands in cocaine during a Midrand raid on the 28th of October 2025. The drugs smuggled from a neighborhood or neighboring country and bound for Cape Town were found hidden in a storage room. A 56-year-old man was arrested and faces charges of possession and dealing. The operation, led by crime intelligence and supported by multiple police units, highlights coordinated efforts against organized crime. Now, moving over to your second news headline, matric results publication faces legal challenge in court. The North Gauteng High Court has reserved judgment in a legal battle between the information regulator and the Department of Basic Education over the publication of matric results. The IR argues that publishing results, even without names, violates POPIA, while the DBE insists it complies with privacy laws. AfriForum and the EFF joined the case, which follows dismissed urgent application and enforcement notice issued in 2024. After 2 days of argument, the court will decide whether media outlets may lawfully publish NSC results. The 2025 matric cohort is currently writing exams with results due early 2026. Now, moving over to your last news headline, SARS collections surge, boosting Treasury fiscal position. South Africa's tax revenue reached 925 billion by September 2025, 2% above forecast, boosted by 6 billion from two-part retirement withdrawals. Year-on-year revenue rose 9.3%, driven by stronger VAT, corporate tax, pay-as-you-earn, and improved compliance. Customs Customs excise duties, especially on imported clothing and footwear, also contributed. This strong performance bodes well ahead of the medium-term budget policy statement on November 12th. Now, heading over to your sporting news. First on the sporting news, Orlando Pirates injury reports. 5 could miss Sundowns clash. Orlando Pirates face selection headaches ahead of their Sundowns clash, with 5 players potentially sidelines. Ramabile Mafokeng remains doubtful, while Tito could be in contention to start. Oki and Dineo van Rooyen are also uncertain, and Tabiso and Rasebocha and ruled out. Despite injury concerns, Pirates edged Magesi 2-1 in the Telkom knockout, thanks to goals from Tepang and Evidence, who continues to shine in key moments. A win against Sundowns could ease Pirates' draw legal on points, still holding a game in hand. Moving over to your second sporting headline, prop forward Pothen to make SA debut against Japan. Zachary will debut for the Springboks against Japan at Wembley, starting a tightened prop alongside Malcolm, and Ox coach Rassi Erasmus retains 16 players from the side that beat Argentina, with World Cup winners Arense, Mortet and Diego returning. Colby shifts shift to full stack, while Finberg, Ngomezulu and Rianch from the halfback pairing. Erasmus praised Potten's raise, calling it a sink or swim moment. The lineup suggests a fast-paced attacking strategy for South Africa's Autumn Nations Series opener. And then lastly, again, moving over to your soccer news, Orlando Pirates released new limited edition alternative kit. Orlando Pirates have unveiled a limited edition third kit for the 2025-2026 season, inspired by Soweto iconic Orlando Towers. The jersey features soft blue and white tones with soft pink Adidas stripes, symbolizing community pride and artistic expression, described as a bold new chapter in South African football design. The kit will be available in limited quantities from 14th of November 2025 at Adidas stores, select retailers and online. So that's it for your news and sporting headlines. And now let's get you safe on the road with your traffic news. Currently, there's only one traffic news. So there is a stationary vehicle on the R21 southbound just after Babsfontein Road. The left lane is currently closed, so please approach with caution and drive safely. And let's now get into the show. If you do have any questions, make sure to send us a WhatsApp or call us on 060-493-3226. And if you have any questions, the hashtag to use is Vooka Breakfast Show on all social media platforms. Now let's stay tuned for an inciting episode.
Welcome to the Vooka Nation. It's yet another amazing and epic Thursday. As you know, that it's also known as a spiritual Thursday, where we all come together and align as one and try to get our chakras and mantras all in one row. Now, I hope you guys are feeling fantastic and also feeling amazing on this beautiful and fantastic Thursday because, hey man, who wouldn't want to go out and have fun, you know? So I hope you guys are going to feel okay, feel amazing. Yesterday was cold. We had a bit of rain. But today, at least the sunshine is popping out to just give us some of that vitamin D, man. So I hope you guys are feeling fantastic about that one. And as you heard from our very own Mr. B, Banele, who came to you with the news and sports update. Now, we all know that that is everything that everybody wants to know about, especially things that are happening in and around the world that actually affect us. So I hope you guys are also feeling amazing about that one. We're going to quickly head over to basically a recap of the news and sports. But right now, let's have a discussion with Mr. B, man. How are you doing, sir?
I'm all good, thanks, Efraberry. Happy to be here. It's a Thursday. You know, all things that have to do with spiritual alignment. These are some of the things that I look forward to. I'll tell you this. I mean, the past couple of years, 2 or 3 years, there's this sudden shift that I underwent. And it's all spiritual, but it's very subtle. Because when you start to discover some of the things that you know you've been lied to about, including spiritually so, then you start to ask more questions, and then eventually you reach a point where you have a spiritual awakening. And I know it's different for everyone, but for me specifically, it started in the most weirdest of ways where I was questioning, where do we live, right? And you know, there's been talks about, there's other continents out there, and plus there's there's some censorship around that, where if you start to go ask questions that, guys, could there be more than what we are being told, then obviously the thing here is that, hey, do not ask questions, because if you do ask questions, you're gonna be sidelined. And the same is true because when we were in COVID, apparently the whistleblowers, people that came out and said, no man, guys, there's something that just doesn't make sense here. Those were the people that were being ostracized. And we're talking about individuals that had or have proper qualifications. And, you know, there was your Dr. Fauci's and, you know, the likes, where, guys, let's really take a step back and question what's really happening. For me, I sense that the same is true, that one could also be ostracized and sidelined even by my own Christian community.
That's
because of the new outlook that I have. In fact, I'm not moving away from Christianity. It's just that I'm defining a few things, you know, where if we were to talk about Christ himself, I believe that he came here to show us how to live a Christ-like life. And when we talk about us being gods, essentially we have the right, or how the Bible phrases it is that we can sit on the right hand side of God, meaning that each and every one of us, because the way we would think about it is physically that if there is the right hand side of God, physically so, it means there can only be one individual, right? But spiritually so, all of us, we can be on the right side of God. And also when we talk about God, the source, there's some things that I won't mention right now, but we'll come back another time, because as I mentioned, I love Thursdays because this is where I get to align. This is where I get to, fasten my, loose bolts and make sure that, I'm on that level. But all is good on my end, right? So speaking of these news headlines that, we read earlier, it's hectic. I don't want to dwell much on the drugs, right? Because a 56-year-old man was arrested and all of that. But it just goes to show that, look, this thing it's there, it's happening. And a lot of these officials, and I'm talking about, people from higher positions, they know what's happening on the ground. And we've seen cases of people being reported to come and account for all of these things. I mean, for example, Kat Matlala is also implicated in the whole drug thing. So you get to see that if police ministers at the time are communicating with the likes of Kat that are also implicated for moving and muling drugs, then something here tells me that this particular individual knows what's is working with the police, because there's no way you can move 20 million rands worth of drugs without having some form of backup, if I may say.
Yeah, there
right?
literally isn't, because you look at the fact that, okay, you find 20 million worth of drugs, right? And they were being moved from Midrand to Cape Town.
Yep.
So it means that they came from somewhere, and wherever they came from, besides being moved from A to B, there were police who knew that there's something happening. There is no way that you cannot know that there's 20 meter worth of cocaine somewhere.
I mean, if you trace probably the route that these drugs took, you could find that maybe they were initially seized, put away for evidence on the locker, and then for some reason they found their way back to the streets. That's just one scenario. The other one could be that if it's in Midrand, then it's closer to OR Tambo. So probably they came by air, right, by freight. Or because Cape Town is coastal, the other way to move them or to get them into the country is through the coast, right? But if they're moving from Midrand to Cape Town, then this
that
purely
means
tells
that
you
they're
that
moving somewhere else.
Yeah, that probably they came through the airport. Right, so 20 million, that's yeah, guys, like how does that go undetected? And I think in this case, it could have been a case where there was some intel that was given that, look, there's these drugs that are moving. And as a result, yeah, the guy got arrested, which is good. Like, I'll tell you this, I've worked with a foundation called Kulumandota, and this was, I think, just before COVID, where we were doing a campaign to get guys away from using drugs. And prominently in the township, Nyaupe is the drug that's killing most of the youth. Mm-hmm. And back then, it used to be mostly males that, took the drug. But nowadays, you can see that even females do it. So we had a campaign, and for 3 days, we had a camp where we invited 30 young guys that are into the drug, and we also got 30 mentors. So we had tents that were situated right here in Kopanong Hall, and the whole goal was that for the weekend, we are going to spend time with the guys and then have the mentors one by one, group sessions and all of that, just so that we can prepare them going to rehab. So we did the whole thing, and some of them went to rehab. And the reason I say that is because some of them couldn't even stay the full 2 days, right? Where they would, some of them just outright jumped the fence and left because it was intense. I mean, we had the EMS services there. Some of them, were having withdrawal symptoms, and it was hectic.
I ain't had these snooze in a minute. Got the bag, then I took it independent. Model 3, it's not rented. Authentic, every vibe is cemented. Fresh days, now we jumping out the ceiling. Self-made, I ain't gotta ask permission. No way. Turn my pain into fire, no ignition. Okay. Only when the money talk, when I listen. Okay. I put the city on my back and niggas dissing. Huh? Look, what the fuck you think I do it for? Do it for. Hey, looking in the mirror, you the GOAT, you the GOAT. Hey, I've been out here grinding 24. So nigga in the mirror, you the GOAT, you the GOAT. Hey, what the fuck you think I do it for? Do it for. Hey, looking in the mirror, you the GOAT, you the GOAT. Hey, I've been out here grinding 24. So nigga in the mirror, you the GOAT, you the GOAT.
break from this world. Running on a hamster wheel, but searching for something I can't feel. I just wanna be a lost girl and fly. Take a breath, feel my wings spread, levitate above the ground and make eye contact with clouds. Now I'm rising, I'm soaring above it all. I just wanna be free, finally, finally. I wanna be free, finally. I wanna be free, finally, finally. I wanna
Man, there's some beautiful gems, but I wanna be free finally. Hey, I hope you guys are enjoying that, man, because we've been having a very amazing discussion here, especially talking about the whole court issue when it comes to the whole matric results. We believe that, no, let me phrase back. I believe that it should go private instead of public, because we've had so many people unalive themselves, and which is something that is basically not needed. So we do hope that the court will also think about the students and make it go private instead of public. This is something that we also need to sort out. And then bonus. SARS is getting some huge payouts, making sure they literally collect on tax. So there is no reason for you to say, no, I can't pay tax, because SARS is basically making sure that they come for you and they are collecting, hey? But otherwise, man, it's so many different things that a person could talk about. And I think our court would say, as much as the matrics are writing, it's almost year end. The year is ending, and I feel like this is something that should have been discussed earlier instead of right now, because it's literally towards the year when they're writing, and this is a case that should have been discussed earlier on and not right now. I mean, like, we're already 303 days into the year, which would have been 304 days, which would have been 304 days if it was a leap year, and we only have 62 days remaining. Imagine 62 days remaining and only 6 weeks. We are at the end. We are almost done with the year. 303 days into the year, and imagine 304 days if it was a leap year. The year is gone. So DPE, y'all are late for discussing this. This is something you should have been tackling when the year started, in the middle of the year, not right now. But you know what, on a much more amazing note, we always know that, people need to feel inspired, and also know that everything they do in life is also inspirational. No matter what you do, all the different paths that you actually work on, you are amazing and fantastic. As Musi Mr. also say, I'll do the cooking. I'll cook.
Extra does the cooking.
I'll cook.
And yeah, extra can cook, man.
Like no one's business.
So y'all had fun on Saturday?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, what was on the menu?
Yo, we had pork stew, fish stew as well, rice with vegetables. So it was epic. It was epic. So yeah, the next one, the venue or the destination is not yet announced, but then it's going to be much bigger, and we're going to be doing, I don't know, we'll be camping, but we were having talks about doing a swimming session where we can do whatever we do, but we can still chill at the pool and then have the talks around the pool area. So someone like me that loves swimming, yeah, this will be absolutely amazing for me.
Speaking of swimming, I don't know if this place is still around, but just as a suggestion to you guys, there's a place called Crocodile Lodge. So it's basically a lodge for crocodiles, and they also do have a swimming pool. So it's also a tad bit, it's a bit of nature with the lodge part inside. They have some thatch roofs. Even the scenery is amazing. But the first and last time I went to this place was in grade 7 for my graduation. and it was epic. You can't even see the crocodiles unless it's also included in your package. So they're not very close to where the lodge is, they're a bit further. So that's the amazing thing about it. It's the fact that you won't have to worry about literally living right next door to a gator because it's a bit far. But if you do want to see the crocodiles, they also can basically arrange that. So in terms of a place that's nice, because I noticed that you guys like something that has a bit of nature in it. So crocodile,
Not a bit, a whole lot.
a whole lot of nature.
Yep.
So I would suggest Crocodile Lodge. And if you were to go outside of the province, the same goes for this one. The first time I went there was in 2013. It's a campsite in Rustenburg called Outward Bound. So they also they offer normal camping and glamping, and they also do have a swimming pool. And you could also go hiking. You could also go river rafting. Because I went there in 2013. I was part of a program run by GIBS, the Gordon Institute of Business Sciences. So I heard that the program is still available, which is pretty nice. I wish more schools in township areas could actually apply for the program, because it'll open up so many opportunities for them, because they literally do get a certificate to show that you're part of a youth program. And it also helps out to build up your career, considering the fact that GIBS is a private institute. So that also helps in terms of applying for jobs and stuff. So I do hope that most township schools would be open towards applying for that. It's a 1-year program, so students go. We used to go twice in a month. So it's in Rosebank.
How do we get to Gibbs?
It's because I was talking about Outward Bound. So Outward Bound was part of the program that we had for the weekend. So in terms of,
because when I thought you were giving us suggestions for.
Sorry. Okay, let me go back. So the second suggestion is Outward Bound. So they offer normal camping and glamping. Yeah. So glamping is basically inside the thatch with the bunk beds.
What's glamping?
Glamping is when you don't have to set up a tent. So that's what we call glamping. So glamping is basically when you literally have somebody cook for you. You still have like a normal stove. You have a refrigerator. You have a bunk bed instead of a normal bed, instead of a sleeping bed. And you literally sleep inside instead of outdoors. So there's two options. So it's either you can go glamping and sleep in basically the designated area within the camp, or you can go camping, where you're basically coming with your camping tent. And if you do not have a tent, they also do rent out tents and sleeping beds, and then you also do have a tour guide that will literally guide you throughout everything.
Nice.
And then they give you literally the pots and pans. You cook with methylated spirit. I got banned, but anyway, spirit, yabo. So I got banned there. You have hiking, you have river rafting. I'm afraid of water because I can't swim, but I went river rafting. I was like, you know what? Afraid or not, this is an experience I am definitely not missing out on.
Yeah, no, that's good. Thanks. I can give you an email that you can send to Vooka as part of suggestions. Yeah,
no,
but, thanks
no,
for
definitely
suggesting
do that.
that. Yeah,
for those two nature gimmicks that you guys like, I'll do that.
Because I mean, look, anyone that wants to give us a suggestion where we should go, absolutely. But at the same time, we're also trying to balance what would be affordability as well as something that's impact driven. So with the Vooka, it is something that is now gaining a whole lot of traction. And when was it? On Tuesday, Wednesday, Nomi was here, yesterday, and she was talking about Vooka CC, something like that. I mean, we laughed it off, but so that was that. So before you come in, let's just make sure that the fourth one is, that's the one.
Odd.
But then just remove the cable head and then replace it with the other one. But so that was good, man. That was good because she's got a thing for doing something for the ladies, and I commend her for that. But thanks for the suggestion.
I think she just needs to change the whole idea, because, for example, I have another friend who suggested something for the ladies. Maybe I could also plug her on that one. So it's basically a pajama parties for the ladies, but it's scheduled for next year between the 3rd and the 4th.
You guys not tired of pajama parties?
Hey, might as well buy it Might as well they do a
The
pajama
theme
party.
is a pajama
Why
party.
Zivuga sisi ngoba sesenzivuga? No, abazenzele yabo njengoba bengitshela unomfundo. They should do something else. Call it something else. Sisters of Vuga. You know, like I mentioned.
And then do pajama parties.
And then do a pajama party.
Yeah, because I
Le
need
yethu yokuphuma
That's where-
amadoda.
That's where they thrive.
Yes.
Pajama parties.
Yes. And bahlala ebusuku bakhuluma into zabo ezabosisi ezabomama.
Ezabosisi,
Exactly.
exactly.
Amadoda aphume. Siyo campa siyolala esikhogweni or something kwakosikhwengi kwa.
Then
Because
come
for
back-
me,
come back
I
refreshed.
love the whole concept because
Of?
okay, besides the pajama part of it, but the main reason why it's there, it's ladies' womb healing, because
Sorry, ladies.
it's called a ladies' womb healing pajama party.
Yeah, I know. Okay, cool.
So it's all about. So the main focus is basically reconnecting. It's a night to heal, release, and rise together in the sacred sisterhood.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, put that together. Callable queen. Call everyone. Everyone.
Bomapule. Bokuku. Waban.
Yeah.
Yeah, batsamaye
Sisters of
esibanyana.
Vuga.
Yeah,
Yes.
sisters of Vuga, exactly. Vuga ladies, something man. Libita something. Le tlogele re banna re lo fodisa itlhogo.
We are not
into zi-
complaining.
For some reason, it looks like there's just an outright
It's competition driven.
competition.
It's competition driven.
And
had we
this
not
was
started-
this was started because we see the need, the gap
And the gap in the community.
to
Yeah.
address the
Male
age gap.
issues
Yeah.
in society.
Why ngafaka abafazi?
For ing go lo etsa ing re bua dilo tse di serious mo like here's the thing. I think the comprehension of it is that maybe siyohlala siphuze lapha relax spray senzeni guys mo lo go bua dilo tse di serious. That's the thing that ladies don't understand.
And speaking of pop here, then I don't think we should even publish what we spoke about.
Oh, we can't.
The only thing is, yeah, guys, we were there.
We'll show you
Here's some
visuals.
pictures.
Yes. Yeah, and a video of us exercising, or of us like camping, maybe the next
Setting
time
up
we
the
camp.
yeah.
Or hiking like we did the last time, or one on the trail. We'll show visuals of that.
But
No, it isn't. This is
it
Kuluma.
has to take a page from the Xhosa culture, like Mabayan Tabin.
Yes.
There's a
Yes.
certain point where you guys
Cameras are shut off.
Shut
or we
off.
can't show you and make you listen, isn't this Kulunga? Because you wouldn't be able to handle some of the things that are going
wouldn't.
through there. Like, dilo tse di buang mo, like, dilo tse di serious.
That's why with the pajama parties, the only thing we would like to know is, did you guys have fun? If yes, cool.
Yeah,
Do
but that's
another
the
one.
only thing I asked. I never asked if you guys discuss anything deep or tell me. It's all about, because it's all about you guys also building yourself, which is a good thing.
100%.
And
So you're gonna lead it.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind leading it.
No, you're gonna lead it.
Lead what?
I'm not okay. Do you mind leading it? Sure, you don't. I'm asking. You're gonna lead your Sisters of Vuga.
Yeah.
You are going to lead it.
Yes.
I know. Awesome, guys. So
I am going to
look
lead
out,
it.
guys. Look out. Afribear is gonna post some information on
Next year, ladies, market and March.
March. Okay, cool.
The reason why I'm saying this is because I can't say January, because most of the ladies that I know that would love to also be a part of this, it's people who have kids. And some of them or some of us are single mothers. So probably one of the other reasons that will be driven is to basically learning how to go back and loving ourselves, because we end up giving so much or end up fighting. Sometimes you need to let literally a sleeping dog lie. And then
that's true. So
I don't-
around March, that's dope.
yeah, for me that'll probably be around it. Plus March is also International Women's Month, so nicely selected. So to the wonderful Vuga ladies that we have, Ma way, you still owe us some food. So my sister Zinzi, my other sis Uneli, like, you know what, Miss Q Rams, ladies, please do feel free to ask for my numbers, Konalai Station, and then we can literally start organizing something. And hopefully it'll be a weekend away instead of one day. Or if it's not a weekend away,
Do
2
you
nights.
guys?
So please hit me up
guys.
so we can start discussing suggestions and start looking up different places.
So my sister, So, babes, my sisters, Sihle, and yeah, multiple times they've gone to like Carnival City, Bas Bukela, like a nice weekend away. It was just them as ladies, yabo. So she came to me and said, "Can you chill Nompilo the whole weekend?" I'm like, actually, she said, "Can I babysit?" I'm like, "What do you mean babysit?"
Anjani.
She's mine, you know.
No worries.
Yeah, no. So then I sat and we chilled the whole weekend. Bahamba, 3 times I believe, 3 times, like a whole weekend away. So it's something that they do, born. But I mean, if you want to add that structure, 100%, I encourage you guys. I encourage
Please
you.
do it.
I mean, for
Yeah,
Manje, Tina, we're still gonna do the single days because we're building up to, you know, creating that momentum where we can now fully do a weekend away or even just one night. So I think we'll probably do just 1 days for now, and then after that we'll come back and do a one night and a weekend away. Because a weekend away, so I don't know. We'll see.
Because I know for me, besides basically the suggestion, there is another thing that I'm doing that has to do with ladies. It's from an NGO called Cherished. And I have been attending the event since 2018, 2017. Up until now. It's just that after COVID, everything kind of slowed down. But otherwise, it's a group of warrior women. I call them warrior women because the women of faith, and they all have, it's all about basically females through different journeys, and we've had different explorations. One of them is somebody that will definitely come to the studio and talk about her life, which is also which is also part of the main reason why the group was founded. You found that some ladies, because for her, she did also, FYI, she did give me permission to discuss this. Some of her situation was that her dad sold her off when she was still young to basically become somebody's sex slave. And throughout that whole journey, she ended up getting pregnant. She ended up aborting because she was still trying to find herself. She ended up in the line of prostitution. But in the end, she ended up finding salvation through the word of God.
Praise God. I mean, that's a good segue to our question for the day. That when you guys pray, because I'm taking the stance that you pray, vele. You know, it's good to assume these things. When you do pray, I just need to know, Vooka Nation, what kind of things do you, or are you mostly praying for? Do you mostly pray for finances or for, you know, other things? But when it comes to prayer, what kind of prayer do you make? Let us know in the comments if you pray for finances, wealth, prosperity, which a lot of these charismatic churches, you know, they talk about that. Look, our God is a God of wealth. Mm-hmm. So it's not a crime or a sin to pray for wealth, right? Or do you pray for other things? Do you pray for family? Like, but what's the one thing that you are currently praying for right now? I'll tell you, I'll go first, Afriberry. I pray for a sound mind, for wisdom. That's the one thing, because I believe that with wisdom, I'm able to get all of these other things that I'm looking for. So it's similar to what Jesus said, that seek first the kingdom of God. So for me, I'm praying for that kingdom. And I've come to discover that this kingdom that I've been praying for so long is actually in me. So right? This kingdom is in me. So what's the one thing that you are praying for that you absolutely want at this current moment? Let us know in the comments. For me, I'm praying for wisdom and for me to realize and to sort of fully harness this kingdom that's within me. What about you, Efri?
I pray for different things. I think one of the other things that I pray for is peace.
But what's the one thing that Manje you would say over and above the other prayer points you do absolutely pray for?
I would say it's peace, because one of the other things that I believe in finding peace within myself. I'm not even gonna lie about it. I'm not even going to lie about it, but I'm just going to be frank and say I pray for peace within my life because I feel like there's a whole lot of chaos that's happening. And one other thing, it's a step-by-step process. The other thing that I also pray for is basically safety. Because I think looking at the way that I grew up and some of the very tricky situations that even still till now that I'm not ready to talk about is basically being able to feel safe. And the other thing is being confident enough not to worry about somebody abandoning me, leaving me because I have abandonment issues. And that stems from me from an early childhood when it comes to my parents. And it's something that has kind of affected me even now. Hence, even when I see people that are like, sometimes I feel like I'm clinging on too tight because I feel like that person has made a certain change in my life that if they leave, my life would definitely crumble.
So without turning this into a therapy session, when it comes to you having these attachment issues, do you somehow recognize, Guti, you are perhaps going into a similar loop where you know or you somehow anticipate that this individual or these individuals maybe might do the same thing over and over again? So the best option is for you to not have attachment at all or expectations from anyone.
Right now, I'm kind of learning not to have expectations. So in this moment, one thing that I've learned that has kind of, in a way, kind of made my abandonment issues a bit less is basically putting only one foot in and one foot out.
Would you say that's good or bad?
For me, I would say it's good because it's a way of accepting that, yes, I do have this current person in my life. But the one foot out is the fact that I need to accept that anything can change. Yeah. Anything can happen.
Yeah, because
and sometimes going apart is not always a bad thing. Maybe it was just at that given point of time, we just had to part, or whatever role they had to play in my life was over. So in that way, so that one foot in, one foot out has in a way kind of helped me find a balance in that whole situation. But there are still some people that I've grown to be fully attached to. Like I remember you guys when I was telling you that I have accepted Vooka as my family.
So then what happens tomorrow when, let's say, a time or like this was cut, let's say, in terms of accepting that, look, it was an era and I walked the journey and this is where the journey has come to an end, you know? I'm not saying, look, I fully understand like what you're going through. All I'm asking is you've seen how people can just let go, and as a result you have somehow developed this mechanism to put one foot in, one foot out, and if it's working for you, then sure, 100%. But the one thing I can say is that in terms of nothing is permanent, you know, change is constant. Sometimes we change for the better, sometimes it's changing for the worse, but that's the one thing that will be constant throughout. You know what I mean? Yeah. But it's good. Pray for that. Continue praying for peace. Vooka Nation, let us know. What is it that you are praying for, that one thing? Is it finances? Is it peace like Afriberry? Or is it wisdom like myself, where I need to experience the kingdom of God? Yeah. So funny enough, I was talking to someone and they mentioned to me that they love hard. And I was like, but you know, we've dated in the past and we've seen how much love can hurt us. And we can have some form of reservations when approaching relationships. But she was like, no, Mina, I love hard. Like when I enter a relationship, I give it my all. I'm like, Aibo, Chomi, even after you got hurt and all of that, it's like, yeah, I do. So I think once you find whatever is good for you, then stick to it. Don't let, you know, other people change you. Because if you are that kind of individual that loves hard, then sure, just go in, love hard without worrying about what the next person will do. Remember, it's about what you do. The onus is on you. Right? So yeah, that's that. That's that.
Yeah, I get the whole point of loving hard. That one is fully understandable because I find with me in some situations I do end up loving hard and I become very overprotective. So for me, if I become overprotective over you, then trust me, you literally mean a lot. The same goes for a best friend of mine that I have. And one thing I like about our relationship is that we both love hard, but we've also had our own dynamic where we've grown, we've learned to grow independent of each other.
Sure.
Because when we first started as best friends, we were very dependent. But we've learned to grow independent. We've learned to find independency within that dependency that we have.
Yeah, so I think the term there is interdependency.
Yeah, interdependency.
Right? Where you get like a little young child, fully dependent on their parents. They grow up, they become independent. Some people think that's the pinnacle where you become independent. And that's the narrative, sorry to say this, but most women are pushing. Hey man, independent, which is fine, it's okay. But there's a level above that, which is interdependence, where there are some things that I will rely from you. And there's things that I know you will want from me. And then it's my job, it's my duty to ensure that I do provide and you also do the same. And then once we reach this cohesive experience, then it becomes a beautiful relationship. But then I just want to circle back to something you mentioned about, being overly protective. So I've got a question with regards to love, that when someone becomes jealous and overly protective, I don't know if that's a good trait, because in my opinion, I feel like love should just be something that is free-flowing. It's not possessive. It's not controlling. And if someone wants to go do whatever they want to do, it's fine. Let them do that.
Oh, okay, let me explain. When I say I become overprotective, it's if somebody comes and wants to do something bad to you. Like for example, the situation with my best friend, I remember we once went out to go have fun as girls, and there was a guy that was basically hitting on her very hard, and she didn't like that. So she's one of those people who she's loud, but when she gets scared, her voice kind of vanishes. She becomes silent. It's hard for her to stand up for herself. And that's where my overprotective comes in. I literally step in and I'm like, and she knows that one thing I'll pretend to do. I'm like, why are you busy hitting on my girlfriend? And most guys be like, no, but when did she wake up? I'm like, this is my girl. Why are you hitting on my girl? And then because I do that, she then now becomes a bit comfortable. That's when the voice starts coming out. It's like, yeah, this is my girlfriend. Don't do this. Baby, let's go. And then we move. And then she sits down. I give her a glass of water and then she comes down. And then after that, we basically go back to having fun. So that's where my overprotectiveness comes in. I give her free will.
So at what stage do you feel like you need to not be overly protective?
It's basically when she feels comfortable. Because she will let me know if she's comfortable, if a guy is coming to her to approach her, if she is comfortable or feels a bit of safety with that person, then I step back. I just sit in the corner while they discuss and just carry on with my drink. But there's a signal that she gives me. If she gives me that signal, then that's where the overprotectiveness of me steps in. And I literally come and become a saver. The same goes for my son. There's some certain fights. If it's somebody who's old and is fighting my son, that's when the overprotective steps in. But if Kiditaka, they're fighting, I basically sit them both down. It's okay, tell me what happened. I don't pick sides when it comes to that one. But if you're older, and instead of your 13-year-old, 15-year-old kid, instead of coming to me and complaining as the mother, and then you beat my child, for me, that makes no sense. I'm like, you should have come to me as the mother, and I personally would have dealt with him. If you guys are the same age group, this is something that I need to sit both of you down and you both tell me, Guti, this is what happened, this is what happens, and I try to mediate. I'm like, you guys are still growing up. There's no need for you to just keep on fighting over silly little things.
Yeah, that's true.
So for me, it comes at levels. I assess the situation before even becoming overprotective. I only become overprotective if whoever I care about is basically giving me a signal or screaming out for help. That's when it sips in. But if it's not needed, then I literally just sit back, relax, and do me.
Yeah.
So I think that's where a lot of people also need to find basically the difference with it. There's a time to be overprotective and there's a time to just love. And I learned how to do that. So for me, I think it's also because of the unique upbringing that I have. And when it comes to jealous, hey guys, in me, I gave up. I be jealous for who? You move on. Not everything. Jealousy, it's not a good thing because it makes people do ridiculous things. Some people ended up in so many difficult situations just because they were jealous over something that could have been easily solved or something that could have just been let go at that time.
You know what's crazy as well? Are you a Christian?
I am a person.
I know where you wanted to go. I see you.
I am a person.
I see you.
I am just a person, my guy. I live. I live.
Do you have moral standards?
Yeah, in a
Let's
way.
pull 'em up.
I don't know, because growing up, I was never really raised in a fully Christian-based home.
No. I understand.
I think it's things that my grandmother instilled in me.
What I'm asking is, so you're not a Christian? Sorry, use your words.
And this whole Christianity, I for now, I wouldn't say I do believe in God, but I'm still trying to find my relationship with Him. So let's just say that, for example. Yes, I do believe in Him, but I'm still trying to find my way.
So which God do you believe in?
Jesus, Mudim.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh,
Mudim.
yeah, but then you can't say you're not Christian if utore Jesu, because by virtue of saying Jesu is Jesus Christ, Yeshua.
Yeah.
And by virtue of saying that, it means, because Christianity is stemmed from all of his followers striving to live a Christ-like life.
That's the
so
problem.
You're contradicting yourself.
The reason why I say I'm not a Christian, or I do not fully fall into Christianity itself, it's because there's some things that unfortunately I'm not doing within the Christian way. And hence I'm saying that it's some things that I need to sort out within myself to fully abundantly and wholeheartedly say I give myself to God, I give myself to Christ.
Do you want to be a
Yes,
Christian?
I do. But there's some things that I need to let go that I'm still struggling.
No. Here's the thing. I don't think that's the question. Do you want to live a Christ-like life, not to be a Christian? Or understand? I think that's where the question should be. Because saying yes, but then by virtue of saying that, then it means you are. Because you're contradicting yourself. Are you a Christian? And you go, no, I'm a person. We are all people, but... And then you say, no, I believe in God. Which God do you believe in? Mudim, Jesu. Like, well, we understand, Antoine. This is just where we try to enlighten each other or bring each other forth to the light. So, by virtue of saying, yes, I want to follow Christ, or yes, I want to have a relationship with Christ, no Christian is fully 100% living the life of being Christ-like or striving to live a life of Christianity or a Christ-like life. No one. Pope wa Pope. So I'm Catholic. I can safely say Pope wa Pope is not living a fully Christ-like life, but was striving on a day-to-day basis. So when you do say yes, or yes, I believe in Jesus, and that's something else. Or if not really, I'm not a Christian or I'm a person, but I believe in God. And that's something else. Then we can say, then you're not a Christian. We understand? But it's things that we learn on a day-to-day basis, man. We all go through these loops of going up and down. I myself haven't been to church in a while.
Hey, dude, yesterday we were confirmed.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. You are being called out. You yourself will want someone, what's happening? You're not going to church anymore. I myself, like on Sunday, when you like front opposite, but you're not coming to church.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm trying to say? But we all go through those ups and downs, those loopholes. But we're praying and we're striving and we're trying, Yo, Mudimu, please bring me forth to you. Because I've had that relationship and I know what it's like. And I've experienced the fullness of it, and all the joys that come with being close to you and having you being close to me. But yeah, man, we strive to get back to that kind of life, man. Yeah.
So where I wanted to go with this is that, the same Bible, because I first wanted to get your stance, right? To go see, do you believe in the Bible or, because if you don't, then it would be irrelevant. Because you were talking about jealousy, which, the same God says he's a jealous God. So it's okay to get jealous.
Hey, Marie, must learn your boundaries. And if you heard me correctly, I did say getting jealous. Yeah, everybody gets jealous, but sometimes it's in the actions that we do when we get jealous that has led so many people down the wrong path. It's all about, I think, the greatest thing that we as the human civilization or as the human race is that we need to learn how to do or learn how to control is basically what our jealousy does to us. As much as, yes, we pray for a jealous God and we praise him, but the way his jealousy, the way he's jealous of us and us praising other gods, and how you look at the behavior or how he handles it is far more different than how we as humans handle it. Unfortunately for me, I would say I'm grateful for the fact that I do not act harshly or act out in rage when I do get jealous. Because that's where people tend to lose it. And people always tell you, I don't know what happened. I just went blank. It's because sometimes you don't let that jealousy become a good thing. At that moment, seeing what you were seeing or going through what you were going through, that jealousy turns into something bad and negative, which leads to a whole lot of negatives down the line.
Yeah.
So I think that's basically one thing that we need to learn, especially when you go down the scripture and how God or Jesus handles the whole part of jealousy, or how he's jealous of us praising other gods. That's a lesson that we need to learn as people.
So I lied. Jealousy is not good. I lied because give me for the longest time, this bothered me, Afriberry. It really did. Why is God jealous? Right? And when I come to read about translations and the scriptures, you'll find, Guti, there's quite a lot of these translations that somehow really miss the point. Because if I am a concerned God, then one can then take that and then translate it to a jealous God, right? Because there is also a law of some sort that when translating the Bible, because this is the most sought after book, the most, in terms of sales, every year, nothing beats the Bible. Yeah, you can get your best authors out there, but then in terms of the Bible, it outsells every other book. But anyway, with each translation, it has to be 10% different.
Yeah, that's true.
So umthetho that they came up with, born to say that if you've got the NIV, then what is it called? Something international version, the new international version, right? NIV, NLT, New Living Translation, King James, the New King James version, Good News, Amplified, you name it. It has to be 10% different so that it can warrant that this is a different translation. And the danger in that is that you've got these Bibles that are 10% different from each other. Eventually, over time, these Bibles will then miss the plot. Because if someone says, I'm a jealous God, or that's the translation, and maybe the original translation is, I'm a concerned God, right?
Instead of jealous,
right? So this is what I've seen in my spiritual journey, that now when I read the Bible, I often do ask myself that, is this the correct depiction of, or the translation from the original Hebrew? And most of the time I've seen that it's not. It still is the same Bible. I still believe in God. the God of the Bible. But then I've seen that for most of these translations, they do somehow miss the plot. And this is where we need to be careful, because right now I feel like I'm treading on dangerous territory, because there is our God in the Bible, which is also depicted to be an imposter, but not an imposter because they don't know anything or they are somehow trying to mimic another God, but because they think that they are all that there is, right? Something I don't want to get into right now, but a God that we serve, if is worried about you serving idols or whatnot, then I don't know. My question is, which God is this that says, Bona, they are jealous?
Yeah, that's very true. Hey, I think also one of the reasons why I kind of also gave up in reading the Bible, especially in my home language, when you look at what is said in the English version and you look at what is said in basically your vernacular version, it also does differ here and there.
Yeah, hence a lot of people go back to the original Bible and then try and decipher it from there. But even with that being said, even with the original Bible, you still need to dig a little bit deeper, because your spirit will tell you that this just doesn't make any sense. Because for me, I might be crucified for this, but I remember there was a time where I started questioning like a lot of these things that we practice right in the Bible, and to a certain extent, there's merit or reasons why someone would practice a certain ritual. But then it's the very same Bible that talks about the atonement of sins in the Old Testament, where they do spill animal blood. And then when you come back to African customs or religion, there is the spilling of animal blood. But when you read the New Testament, it then talks about that God no longer finds pleasure
in the shedding of animals.
Right? But then we know that God is the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow. So what changed? So I know a lot of people will have different outputs or how they depict or translate all of this here. But then I think for a spiritual journey, there are things that we've been told. And I think most of us suffer from, we don't read the Bible ourselves. It's something that we hear someone and then we take that thing and run with it, right? But it's way deeper, and I've just realized that I've just scratched the surface. As much as I've graduated, I feel like I've graduated from the mainstream belief of how one should receive Christianity, like Musi mentioned, being Christ-like. If I were to publicly say that, look, Jesus or Yeshua or the character of Jesus was a man that came down from heaven to show us that you can also live a Christ-like life, or you can reach the level of being a Christ. And you yourself, you are a Christ, right? Mm-hmm. But if I were to publicly say that, look, when it comes to dying or sins and the atonement and all of that, that when you die to self, then you can reach your Christ-like nature. But then I feel like I might be crucified to say, look, did Jesus really die for our sins? Or is it a analogy or some sort of a depiction in the Bible to say, if you were to die to yourself, then by doing that, by carrying your cross, then you are dying towards sin itself. I feel like I might be crucified because of that. You get what I'm saying? So people must just read the Bible for themselves, hear what God is saying. Other things will take time, because there were certain concepts that I did not understand initially, but then because as a student I am ready, the master came through. So whenever the student is ready, the master will show up. So little by little, most of these things are being unpacked. And you'll also hear various stories. I mean, the one of Adam and Eve, there's just countless accounts of different translations, or the way that people see it has been has shown up in the past. One of them is that Adam and Eve are not the first people, right, to ever walk this earth. But then the Bible that we read says Adam and Eve were the first people. But then when you see that Cain, there was a civilization elsewhere, he got married and all of that, you start to ask these questions. So it's not that it's contradicting itself. It's just that there's been sections or things that have been omitted that we need to now fill in the blanks. And I do believe that some people know about these truths, but then it's kept hidden. But then just like anything else, like truth itself, you can't suppress, hide truth. Eventually it will come out. And if you also believe in the age of the awakening, which is right now, most of these things that we're experiencing right now, they are coming out, whether they like it or not.
Yeah, that's very true, hey, because you also look at the fact that sometimes also, and unfortunately, yes, we love Christianity, we love God, but most people who have probably also come out to reveal some of the inner hidden translations of the Bible, it's people who some don't even exist anymore, because there's some truths apparently that are supposed to stay hidden. Like for example,
Judas didn't betray Jesus. Do you believe that? Afro, do you believe Judas didn't betray Jesus?
In all honesty, I've never actually been one to actually fully go into the whole the 7 disciple issue.
The 12 disciples.
Then what happened? What's the theory behind it?
The Gospel of Judas suggests that Judas had a conversation with Jesus that prophecy, or what was prophesied, needs to come true. So as a result, I need you to perform or act this thing out so that what was written will come to pass. So in a way, he was essentially lending or fulfilling the prophecy that was written, but they had a conversation and they agreed that, look, this is what you're going to do.
So basically, before, as we know, Judas went out to go snitch on Jesus about where he is and all of that jazz. He had a private conversation with him, letting him know that as much as this can be avoided, but because it's a prophecy, it's something that needs to come to light.
Yeah, because if he hadn't sold Jesus, then it means there's no atonement of sins for us.
In a way, I actually kind of believe what you say, because there's this other movie that I watched. Okay, this movie, it's a bit weird and quirky, but it also talks about the Bible in its own way. It's called the Book of Clarence. So the Book of Clarence is basically, it shows, as we know in some of the histories, especially when you go to like old Russian churches, they show that Jesus was black. They show that even the 12 disciples were black. Basically, Mary Magdalene, everybody mentioned in the scripture was actually black compared to what we know right now as Jesus being depicted as white. And then that movie literally has each and every single cast from the Bible being black. So the Book of Clarence, it talks about Clarence as the twin brother to Thomas. Remember that Thomas basically shied away from a life of sin and turned over a new leaf to go become one of Jesus' disciples.
Yeah.
Yes, and then Clarence was a non-believer. Clarence was basically one of the people who didn't believe that this man can walk on water. Or maybe this man can literally save everybody. That's what Clarence didn't believe. And then, so they have a part of the movie where they show the Last Supper. So when they show the Last Supper, that's basically when they also show that that's where Judas was discovered to become one of the people who sold Jesus out. But before they even showed it, they show that Judas had a battle within himself, whether to fulfill the prophecy or not to fulfill the prophecy. It was a man fighting two battles within his head and his heart. Should I or should I not become the person that the prophecy said I must become in order for it to come into light, so basically everybody would know who Jesus is and everything can be fulfilled to what we now know as it is. And hence I'm saying that what you said when you say that there's a part where Judas basically had a private conversation with Jesus. It took me back to that, because it also shows that as much as Judas did want to go and basically go and tell people that I know where he is, he's this and there's a person is sitting there, in his head and in his heart, he eventually did have a fight about whether good Christians when they're actually not. Motho beile pele empe ka mogare ga yene a feditsa ba iphitlha ka saparo sa Jesu a re ene ke motho right. And this is what basically happens here with Clarence when it goes to John the Baptist. And John the Baptist even told him that what you want to do, because he went around telling people that he was Jesus, and his friend helped him to basically also commit that sin.
You see, this is where I'm at, where we are all Jesus. And the same way Jesus was stoned, crucified, because he said he is God. And if I come through and I say, look, I am Jesus, people will say, you're insane. This is blasphemy. The same thing you're depicting. Now, if you want to reach this heavenly state of being a Christ, obviously there's a price to pay, because you have to take up your cross, crucify, die unto self, and then once you've died, you'll then become a Christ. But not everyone can bear the title of being a Christ by walking the journey towards being a Christ. But we all have the ability to become a Christ. So the fact that he was stoned, crucified because he's blaspheming against God, then that in itself is, I think, one of the greatest lies that have been told to society, that if you try and become like God, you are blaspheming. But isn't that the goal? Right? Yeah, so interesting things, Vooka Nation, because, when it comes to all things spirituality, I'm trying to resolve how, these things work spiritually. So African spirituality, also when we do get guests that come through here in studio that talk about scriptures as well as African spirituality, I question everything. And remember, growing up, when you question some things, you are seen as someone that is a bit too troublesome. But then question everything, guys. Why do we do this? Why do we give tithe? Yes, it's written in the Bible, Malachi chapter 3, verse 10. I still even remember that scripture off by heart, that bring the whole tithe to my storehouse and all of that. And when you try and investigate and look into how the prophet Malachi came to the house of Israel and say, look, you are robbing God, you are cheating God, because there was a covenant that was made where they should give tithe, because God constantly delivered them from the hands of, the enemy. And they then made their promise. So now it's a thing of, look, because it happened there, it must also happen here. I've got a question. Let's talk. You see, the thing is, I'm not saying I'm ignorant. All I'm saying is, let's talk. Let's have the discussion. Let me also put my points forward, and let's talk about it, because I've seen how belief can really, really be a strong thing, where some people just do not question things. And not that I want to become a rebel and rebel against everything. All I'm doing is, let's just have an honest conversation, talk about some of these things. Let's unpack them in detail, and let's be truthful when doing these things. Then one can be labeled as someone that's blaspheming against God. So I say question everything, whether it's politics, religion, because that's the only way for you to know. Because the other thing about the Bible as well, and I think we should also have Ted to come back and unpack these things a little bit more, is that the Bible does say that the book is complete, right? There are 66 books in the Bible, and there's the book of Enoch. There's a whole lot of gospels that were written, but then they were taken out of the Bible. So now my question is, if the Bible says 66 books and the Bible is complete, no one will add or remove from this Bible. To me, that doesn't sound like it's coming from God, man.
It doesn't. Right? It really doesn't.
But there's a lot. There's quite a lot that's in the Bible that, it's full of vitamin C for your soul. You get what I'm saying? So there's a lot that's there that's absolutely good, but also
My thing is, why shouldn't I look elsewhere?
And in a way, I do not
Why?
believe that as much as we say that God is our creator and all of that, I don't think you would create somebody who's not going to be born with a curious mind, because that's also another way of learning. For example, I think for us, it'll come with the whole rebellion of when Lilith basically left the garden when Adam wanted to take Eve in. Most people don't even know that Lilith was actually...
Where did Lilith come from?
Lilith, it's not actually... For example, it's not actually even depicted where does Lilith come from, but Lilith is actually the first wife of Adam before Eve. But the Bible does say that Eve... Yeah, Adam.
What's that?
A rib.
Oh, the rib. Okay.
Yes. But then when you go deeper into it, Lilith is actually the first wife, and Eve is not the first wife. Lilith,
But
hence you have Lilith as the mother of
Lilith
death.
comes from?
In all honesty, I do not know.
Okay.
But I do know that Lilith was the first wife of Adam. And funny enough, I found that through the series here, Lucifer. And that's when I actually went to go and search. And I found out that, yes, Lilith was actually the first wife of Adam. Because some of these things
that's not true.
Who was the first? Wasn't Lilith the first wife of Adam?
Adam only had one wife.
Eve.
Yeah.
Lilith before she became the mother of demons.
No, because I mean, you're asking me. I'm telling you that Lilith is made up.
So Lilith is non-existent.
Yeah, I get when you saw Lilith from the series Lucifer. Question is, do you run with that as truth? Nah?
Oh, kind of one-sided.
Yeah.
Okay, so where does the mother of demons come from?
Is there such a thing?
Let me cook for a second. Here's
Cook.
I watched Lucifer back and
Sorry, we can't hear you. There, yeah.
I watched Lucifer back and forth. And you see, the thing is, as someone who watches movies and just TV in general, at a very high functioning level, you can't take these things at face value. You need to denote, and like she just said, research. You need to go read up. Okay, why this depiction, or why this concept, or the portrayal. Yeah, that's the right word. Why this portrayal of this character? Like, for instance, you just finished the first season of The Sandman, right? I made the comparisons of Lucifer in The Sandman and Lucifer in Lucifer the series, right? And they give you're given an entire list of the differences. Like we did the comparison of The Sandman in DC and The Sandman of the Guardians. They're different. It's the same character, but portrayed in different depictions, right? Yeah. There's also Mazikeen. Mazikeen is said to be the right hand of Lucifer. Like, she's the first soldier of Lucifer, right? And there are different depictions of her. Her faces, like half of her faces, whatever.
Yes.
So when you watch these things, you can't take them at face value, because there's a reason why the writers and the directors want to portray that character in that way. Even this movie, I actually have to go watch it. Maybe it's a good recommendation.
Which one?
The Book of Clarence. I need to go watch it, because these ideas are aimed at challenging what is said to be
mainstream.
Not mainstream, but that's the other word I'm looking for. Societal norm, for lack of a better word. When you break what? When you break in 20 it's a so man.
Cycle.
No, yeah, but that's not the word. Anyway, but they're there to challenge your perspective, I guess, for lack of a better word. So the whole depiction of Lilith in Lucifer is far right. Like they,
Okay.
because they came up with another angel, not Malachi. I forget what the angel's name is in
did he do?
in Lucifer, and that angel didn't exist.
What's an angel?
The black guy in Lucifer, he's the one who he's the brother of
Oh, Lucifer's brother.
or one, because they're the angels are siblings, right, in God's eyes. But one of the things that are out there, or the things that are being taught or have been taught, is that outside of Lucifer, or Lucifer Morningstar as the favorite angel, Michael the Archangel is one of the favorites as well, because he's the fighter of God, right? But in this depiction of Lucifer, this made-up character angel in the series is the favorite, is the equivalent of Michael. But you find that later in the series that there is a Michael in the Wanganastanda. So imagine if you take this at face value and you believe this angel existed, or there is an angel like that. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So you can't necessarily take them at face value, man.
Okay, so apparently, yes, in some traditions of medieval Jewish folklore, Lilith is considered to be Adam's first wife before Eve. According to this tradition, Lilith was created from the earth alongside Adam and left the Garden of Eden when she refused to be subservient to him. So the creation story. The story is a way to explain the two different accounts of human creation in the book of Genesis. In one account, male and female are created together. In the other account, Eve is created from Adam's rib. The Lilith myth suggests she was the first female created at the same time as Adam, and that Eve was created after Lilith fled. Reason for leaving is that Lilith and Adam argued because she insisted on being his equal, refusing to lie beneath him during intercourse. When he insisted on dominance, she pronounced God's name and flew away from Eden. The aftermath is that God sent angels to bring her back, but she refused. The angels then cursed her to have her children. The angels then cursed her to have her children die, leading to the myth that she is a demon who harms infants. The biblical basis is that the figure of Lilith is not mentioned in the Bible as Adam's wife, and the original story is later mentioned in a Jewish text, such as the Abbot of Ben Siri.
So what do you think, Gwenna, from reading that? Because remember, the key word here is Jewish folklore. So what are your thoughts of Lilith?
It's a bit hard, hey? Because let's be honest, but when you also look at Christianity and Jewish, these are two different people that have always been fighting throughout the ages, even when Christianity came in. So in a way, it's a bit hard to argue. I think I'd have to go back and probably get the Jewish text and also go through Genesis, as they say that in the Genesis it basically talks about the creation of woman and man to stand together and on the same standing ground. So I think it'll have to need a person to actually go fuller and much more deeper into their own research for them to actually fully understand whether Lilith was created first with Adam, or Lilith was basically just a myth.
Yeah, because there's quite a lot of accounts for creation, which that in itself also makes things very, very confusing. Because as it stands, I can give you two accounts of creation. I mean, the one that you explained, Uguti, Lilith and Adam were created alongside each other, right? Mm-hmm. And then when she refused to lay beneath Adam, that's when she just renounced, you know what, I'm leaving the Garden of Eden. Right?
Because she also wanted to have the same amount of dominance that Adam wanted to have on her.
Sure. So that's one account. I can give you another one. So the reason why I'm saying all of this is that you will see that when you go on this journey, you'll find a whole lot of stories. So let me give you the other one about the account of a creation. So I'm not sure if you're familiar with the Anunnakis, Right. So these are these beings that came from a different land or from a different civilization somewhere. And their planet, yes, their planet was in trouble because they needed some form of minerals, and then they found Earth. And apparently the orbit of the planets, they meet or they come together every 3,600 years. So the last time the Anunnakis were here, they found apes. Okay? Apes.
Oh, are you talking about Planet of the Apes?
No, I'm saying they found apes. Are you with me? That's what I'm asking.
Okay, sorry, let me just come back to this.
Sure. So they found apes, and then they said, okay, let us create man in our own image. Ne? And then they
AKA Homo sapiens.
They took an ape, mixed a bit of their DNA, and you can then see how synonymous this would sound in the Bible, where it's a case of, let us create man in our own kind. And they breathed life into man and ape, and then a human being was formed. So that's also one account of the Anunnakis. And it's the very same Anunnakis, because there was two brothers. There was Enlil, as well as another brother, that taught them how to make weapons, that taught this new man that they've created how to do, or how to, basically create technology, essentially. So after doing that, the one brother was like, you know what? I do not like what this other brother of mine has done. And as a result, it is my job to wake them up. So think about it in the Bible, where Adam and Eve eat this fruit, and all of a sudden they become aware of what's happening. And because of that, God is now upset and then chases them out of the garden. So with the Anunnaki depiction, the one brother creates this man that they can use as slaves, but the one brother doesn't like that and wakes them up so that they can become much more self-aware. And because of that, he then rebels. And just like how we have it today in the Bible, that the one the one brother is God and the other one is Lucifer. So the one that woke people up is the bad brother, because the intention here was that they should stay sedated, lack of a better word, right? So that's also another account of the creation of mankind, alongside the one that you've mentioned about Lilith. There's another one which also involves Lilith, but then here it talks about God being an imposter, and essentially there's different levels to these entities or these beings. Sophia, one of the beings, created a god, and this god was supposed to be created within a contract or marriage, or the way that it's agreed that you have two entities, feminine and masculine, that come together to create this being. But then Sophia created this one being. Because she was ashamed that she created this one being, she then hid this entity, this deity, away. And from that, this deity doesn't know that there's other beings above it. Are you with me? Okay. After creating this being thinks that I am the Almighty. There's nothing else beyond me. I am a jealous God and all of that. And this is the very same being that apparently we call God today. But then because this being doesn't know that he's part of, and when I say he, I'm just referring to this being, he's not aware that there's also beings above it. And then this being thinks that I am the Almighty God, and so on and so on.
The hierarchy
and all of that. There's no other God besides me and whatnot. Because to me, that sounds pompous when you read the Bible. So that's another depiction. So then, because Sophia realized what she had done, and this God was looking at trapping souls into this realm, into this dimension, Sophia then created a spark of light that could also be embedded into the very same human beings. And then when creating Adam, they then introduced this light, which is Eve inside of Adam, of which, because Eve is inside of Adam, God did not like that, and then said, look, let's put this imposter God, let us now separate man or Adam and Eve. Hence the separation came through. But then technically speaking, the separation shouldn't have happened because the spark of light, which is the feminine energy, was already inside of Adam. And then the whole separation is making sure that the two don't become one. That is why someone will say, hey man, when it comes to marriages and all of that, there's like a spiritual war where if one can divide a family, it works out good for some people. But because we've been separated, now we are coming, or the goal is at least to come together as one, to have male, female become one again, of which to a certain extent the Bible does say that the two will become one. But as you can see, I'm giving you various accounts of the creation of, Adam and Eve, or the beginning of time. And then there's also other ones as well that look, there's what we call a reset. And with every reset, the same way God says, look, I'm going to flood the earth. There's another one where it says, look, God had reset the world. And then there was also other individuals that survived and all of that. Hence, when the children of Adam and Eve left, they did find another civilization. So you will see that with your spiritual journey, you will hear quite a lot. You will hear a lot. So now question is, which one do you take as truth?
Hey, it's true that I hear a lot because I'm busy also reading up here. Now there's like a verse, Isaiah verse 34:14, which in the NRSV reads, there too shall Lilith repose. So apparently this is like a poor translation, but every other major translation of the Bible reads something to the effect of night creature or screech owl. Even if demon monster named Lilith was the proper translation of the Hebrew word, Adam is no way even hinted in it, in this passage or in its context. Whatever the Lilith was, it is not given any connection to whatsoever to Adam or creation. So,
see, question everything. Even when you find something online, question it as to whether is this truth or not. I've seen, man, there's a huge agenda not to allow mankind to know.
Yeah, because this verse also talks about basically a place also by the name of Lilith.
See
so
what
basically
I mean?
This is the verse is part of a prophecy detailing the future desolation of the land of Edom. It describes a barren, chaotic place where wild animals and various monstrous and nocturnal beings will live, meaning that the mention of Lilith here does not describe her creation, but rather her place as a creature of the night and desolation, similar to other figures in the list. So we shall see. A person will just have to do further research, because when you go to the Jewish version, it talks about basically the creation of Lilith. When you go to the biblical version, it talks about Lilith as a place where monsters and night creatures live. So there's two depictions of who Lilith actually is, whether Lilith is a place or Lilith is a person. So hence I'm saying that it basically needs a person to basically go down the Jewish Bible and read what it has to say, and probably read up on how old that Jewish Bible is compared to the King James version of the Bible, the actual Bible that we also read and study. But you know what, amazing View Nation, we're going to head over for a quick break. When we come back, we're going to head over to the comment section and see what all your amazing Vooka Nations have been saying. So we'll be back right now. Let's just take a quick break.
Winning again. Oops, I did it again. On business. Winning again. Oops, I did it again. Oh man, there he goes again. Every quarter records rolling in. Then the quarters get to rolling in. Turning change right to paper. Turning paper to the banks. I can't lie, so I can save it. So I slip some in the safe, throw the key away. Mama been worried, but she knows where I've been grinding down dirty, stay awake till I can. Say I'm tired, been hurting, but I stick to the plan. All my life, I ain't worried, leave the earth where I stand. I've been going through the motions, trying to find my way. Never notice if you notice, so I smile and wave. All dry, stay focused, setting my little pace. And now all I have to say, yeah.
Welcome back, Vooka Nation, welcome back. We are back at it again. Now, I see that basically we're taking ourselves back to Bible school. And today is extra amazing because we're all just about discussing everything that has to do with the Bible. So, man, you know what? I think we can hold down the spiritual segment by ourselves every once in a while.
Yeah, there's a lot that I want to learn and uncover. But I also recognize that some things are not, for others at a given time. Because sometimes what was fact seems to be fable. And what seemed to be fable is now becoming a fact. And I'll just jump into what I would consider is my word of the day, which is allegory. Yeah, allegory. Right, so that's my word of the day. Good day, man, guys. There's a reason why some of these words exist, and even if we talk about the etymology of words, where they come from, it gets to reveal a much deeper truth. But allegory means a story, or a poem, right? That, or even a picture that can be interpreted to reveal a hidden meaning. Typically, moral, political, spiritual, religious, and all of that. But it's a story, but the story depicts something that's true. But it's done through, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's that. So in terms of our regular programming, let's just step out of Bible school for now and give the Vooka Nation their daily bread, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if you know, but today,
I want to head over to the comment section first. So we're going to have our first comment by Ubuhle. Ubuhle coming in saying, good morning, Vooka Nation. Good morning, Vooka team and the Vooka Nation. Hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. Hashtag Sivugile. Another comment coming in from Ubuhle saying, hashtag Happy Thursday and have a lovely, blessed day ahead. Thank you very much, Ubuhle. And then also have another comment coming in from Luetu saying, good morning, team, and Amavuga Amatle. Hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. Hashtag Sivugilo on a lovely Thursday. And also have Luetu coming back again saying hashtag lovely, hashtag have a lovely, happy Thursday. Be blessed. And then also have another comment coming in from Prime Cut Creatives. Ati hashtag Vooka Break, hashtag Sivugile, hashtag Vooka Break for Vooka Nation, and then hashtag Throwback Thursday. And then also have another comment coming in from Umama. Mam Tembi says, a very good morning, Vooka team and Vooka Nation. Hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. Hashtag Sivugile, a lovely Thursday. And Anumamuya Buya Futi at hashtag wishing you a peaceful, fulfilling day ahead. God bless you all. And her mom coming back again saying, at Musimist, I think the weather is good for you today. And then also have another comment coming in from Umamati. Hashtag love the topic, team. Thank you very much, Ma. We appreciate the fact that you love the topic. And then Umusi also responding to Mama saying it absolutely is Mom Tembi and I'm loving it. So man, thank you very much for communicating with us in the comment section. But W's in the chat. But as you know that we always take you through our daily bread, making sure that you stay well educated when it comes to the world of history and making sure that you get all the different and important lessons that you may know about or may have missed out on during your history lesson. Now, on the first history lesson today, we have the 2021 36th Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees. So we have 4 fighters, the Go-Go's, Jay-Z, Carole King, Ted Reagan, Tina Turner, Kraftwerk. We have Jill Scott, we have Heron, we have Charlie Puth, we have LL Cool J, Jay Bailey. It's a lot more. So the 2021 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame's 36th induction class was one of its most diverse and genre-spanning lineups to date, honoring pioneers across rock, hip-hop, soul, and electric music. Among the inductees were Foo Fighters, The Go-Go's, Jay-Z, Carole King, Todd Rundgren, and Tina Turner, each celebrated for their groundbreaking contributions to popular music. Tina Turner and King were notably inducted for the second time, recognizing their solo careers beyond earlier collaborations. The Musical Excellence Award went to LL Cool J, Billy Preston, and Randy Rhoads, while Kraftwerk, Jill Scott, Heron, and Charlie Parton were honored for early influence. And Clarence Avant, a legendary music executive and mentor, received an Ahmed Antogan Award for his behind-the-scenes impact on the industry. So congratulations on those ones. Now moving into the world of football, making sure that you stay in tune with the ones and twos. And in 2023, FIFA
Ballon d'Or.
Ballon d'Or. Me, I was about to say Ballon d'Or. Ballon d'Or. Argentina and Inter Milan CF forward Lionel Messi wins his record 8th award from Manchester City striker Erling Haaland. Spanish World Cup MVP takes out the women's award. Lionel Messi claimed his record extending 8th Ballon d'Or in 2023, while Argentina earned her first Ballon d'Or for the female version of it, making a historic year for both players. Messi's win was fueled by his pivotal role in Argentina's 2022 World Cup triumph, where he also received the Golden Ball, and his successful stint with Paris Saint-Germain before joining the Inter Milan CF. Prominence Award followed after her standout performance for Spain in the FIFA Women's World Cup and her FC Barcelona in the UEFA Women's Champions League, where she was named MVP in both tournaments. Now, this is also amazing for the females, especially in the world of football. Now, also in 2023, former basketball player Magic Johnson as the fourth athlete to become a billionaire after Michael Jordan, LeBron James, and Tiger Woods, according to Forbes. Now, in October 2023, Magic Johnson was officially declared a billionaire by Forbes, becoming the fourth athlete to reach the milestone after Michael Jordan, LeBron James, and Tiger Woods. Unlike many who amassed wealth through massive player contracts, Johnson's fortune, estimated at $1.2 billion, was built through several business ventures. He earned around $40 million during his NBA career, but his post-retirement, he invested in movie theaters, Starbucks franchises, real estate, and healthcare. His most lucrative asset is a 60% stake in Equitrust, a life insurance company that grew from $16 billion to $27 billion in assets under his leadership. He also holds minority stakes in major sports teams, including the Washington Commanders, NFL, and LA Dodgers, amongst others, man. So after that, we're also going to be moving to the internationals on national celebrations. And today we are celebrating National Text Your Ex Day. I never. So today is National Text Your Ex Day. Imagine going out and sending your ex a text for what, for the who, for the why. But anywho, let's hear more about this day. So National Text Your Ex Day is observed annually on October the 30th as a light-hearted prompt to reconnect, reflect, or seek closure with a former partner. Though unofficial and born from social media trends in the early 2010s, the day encourages people to send thoughtful messages to an ex, whether to mend fences, express gratitude, or simply check in. It's not about reigniting old flames, but rather acknowledging past relationships and the growth that followed. However, it's wise to consider emotional boundaries and potential consequences before hitting send. No, this day is not for me. This one, it's not a day I would celebrate personally.
But can I ask, I mean, do you text your exes?
The only ex I text is my baby daddy because we have a kid together. But otherwise,
apart
no.
from him.
No.
So this year you've never spoken to an ex?
No, they texted me asking for love back. Ish, other people don't understand. When it's over, my guy.
Okay, no.
And I even told him, like, no, I have a man right now. He even offered himself to become a side piece. I'm like, hey, my bro, you're very brave in life. Which man does that in the right state of mind? You are. But you also have National Publicist Day. So National Publicist Day is celebrated annually on the 30th of October to honor the behind-the-scenes professionals who shape public perception and manage communications for individuals, brands, and organizations. Founded in 2015, the day recognizes the tireless efforts of publicists who craft press release, coordinate media coverage, and build strategic narratives to elevate their clients' visibility. The date also commemorates the first ever press release published by Ivy Lee in 1906. Now, this is pretty amazing because it's a double barrel, marking a pivotal moment in the history of public relations. Events and campaigns on this day spotlight the creativity, resilience, and influence of PR professionals across industries. So, to everyone who's a publicist, whether you do PR, this day is meant for you, and I hope that you know that you have a specific day internationally where you are celebrated. Thank you. That is all thanks to Ivy Lee, who published the first article in 1906. So Ivy Lee, up in then heaven. Thank you, girl, for doing them. Thanks, man. So we thank you very much for that one, hey?
You know, absolutely. So day to day we celebrate birthdays.
Yes.
And typically we try to lean towards celebrities that in my era growing up that I can easily recognize. But I also understand that the youngings of today, they have celebrities that they celebrate, of which I have no idea that these individuals exist. But one of the people that stands out for me in my era growing up was some guy from the WWE, right? And he was very iconic for the moves that he made. And every Saturday, whether it's, you know, WWE, Velocity, SmackDown was on Wednesday. Saturday, we had Velocity, and then we had Roar, right, on a Sunday. Man, one of these icons, man, is Edge, right? EDGE, Edge. That's his name. So he was born on this day in 1973. Which would make him 52 years young this year because he still looks good. I mean, the one thing that stood out about him is, you know, his chiseled jaw, because it looked like it was, you know, protruding out from his face. And I don't know, but I think with women, especially for guys that have this double chin, like Obo John Travolta, you guys seem to be attracted and love that. Because Edge also had like a similar feature. But as we know, he's a wrestler. So his rise to fame obviously was that he was a wrestler best known for Edge. And he has won over 31 championships during his wrestling career, right? There was times where he played foul. But for the most part, he's just an amazing wrestler. And till today, we don't know if the guy ever got married. But then, I mean, we spoke about it yesterday that, guys, a cruel, not in a cruelly iconic spear as well. Just like about Goldberg and the likes. But anyway, something that you might not have known about Edge is that he started using his real name when he debuted with AEW in 2023. So his name is Adam Copeland. Adam Copeland, yep.
Wait, he's back into wrestling?
I'm not sure if he is, but at the age of 52, I doubt he is. But I lie. Yeah.
I remember that one of the other reasons why he kind of disappeared from wrestling is because he had a brain injury. And that had to take some time, and apparently it was affecting him. The same goes for Jason Momoa. When he also disappeared from the world of wrestling, is because he found out that he had cancer at that moment. So he kind of had to disappear. And unfortunately for me, I feel like that's it kind of puts in the light or the whole point into wrestling, because some people believe that it's all fakes and it's all fake. They're not really fighting until one of them literally gets hurt and you don't see them appearing. That's only when people start to realize that, no man, these people get thrown from tables, my guy.
Yeah, I think with the whole being thrown off from a high place and all of that, that's all real. The injuries are real, but the fighting itself, I know now that it's staged, or lack of a better word, it's just polite.
Yeah, but
yes, they do punch, they do kick here and there, but then these are trained athletes where they don't really harm each other in that way. But it's real. I mean, for some of them, like The Undertaker, apparently he was known to land real punches.
And now you could see a person who crawls up from the middle of the ring. A person who comes in a coffin. And that one is not going to play. That one came to do what he wanted to do. That one is out there living his life. So he's going to throw an actual punch. Everybody knew that. And I also think that also for me, there was also another video where John Cena was fighting with somebody. And oh, that's a throwback, man.
Do a tag team. Yeah, and he would do the suplex and he would lock hands whilst doing it. So he would do it like 3 times, where he would do the first one but not let you go, and then turn with you, pick you up, and then do another one, and then do a third one as well.
And
so that was one of his
see.
iconic signatures.
By the third one, you're gone, my guy.
Yeah.
You should be very strong to handle that third one. Man, that's beautiful in the world of wrestling. I just want to know how much they pay that lady. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the world of WWE SmackDown. How much does a person even get paid to become a ring announcer? We'll come back to that one, eh?
Yeah. Another iconic figure is Diego Maradona.
It reminds me of that song.
Yeah, he's Argentinian, but he was famous for, playing football in the era of Pele and stuff like that. So he was born 1960, same age as my mom, but he passed away
on the 25th of November.
25th of November. Yeah. But he was born today, though. He was born today. And he was an Argentinian professional footballer and manager. So he was married once from 1984 to 2003. And something that's interesting about Maradona is that he was widely regarded as one of the greatest players in the history of the sport. He was one of the 2 joint winners of the FIFA Player of the 20th Century alongside Pele. And I think Pele, we were celebrating Pele was it this week or last week?
It was last week.
Yeah. So he played along that era. Pele's from Brazil. He's from Argentina. And growing up, we knew that players from Brazil, Argentina, very, very skilled players, right? So, yeah. And even till today, when we look at the likes of, who's the rival? Messi. Messi's from Argentina as well. Right?
And then you have Ronaldo, Neymar.
Ronaldo is Portugal, Neymar is Brazil.
I'm not sure about Neymar. Neymar is days. Neymar is days.
Right, and the last person we are celebrating, she looks very familiar, Fiberi, Nozipho Makakula. She's 31 years old. She was born today, 1994. Right, so she's a 1K. So she's a South African doctor, model, activist, and beauty pageant title holder who was crowned Miss Earth South Africa in 2016. So yeah, she's still not married right now. But an interesting fact about her is that she won Miss Earth South Africa 2016, blending science and beauty with environmental activism. So happy birthday to her. And, we've got a tradition right here where we say happy birthday to them. If we can't say it, we'll probably sing it. But yeah, happy birthday to the late Maradona, to Edge, as well as Nozipho. So you know how I use Microsoft Edge on the PC. So when I think of Edge, I'm just thinking of my browser. Did you find the happy birthday?
No, I'm only finding... Okay, wait. found it.
Sorry, missed. There.
The happy birthday don't wanna play.
Birthday! Woohoo! Yeah! Hip hip! Hooray! Hip hooray!
You found it?
Yeah, man, I found it, and the song just had to creep in there. I found it, so happy birthday to them. Because for me, you know, when I think about Maradona, I think about that song that was created by Ninola. She's a musician, and basically it was basically surrounded around the whole theme of Maradona being a football player. When you look at the music video, it's basically featuring guy wearing like, you know, a t-shirt with the short, basically looking like kid. And then one of the famous lines is that she footballer me, yeah. So basically this guy is a football player, but not a football player in that sense, meaning that she's dating a player. So that was basically where the whole Maradona came in there. Minola, you didn't do Maradona correct. Maradona was not a player. The original Maradona was not a player, but otherwise, I think it was also a beautiful way of also kind of paying homage to him.
For sure, 100%.
No, man, that was pretty amazing. So, if Vooka Nation, if you do have anybody there that is currently celebrating their birthday today and you'd like to wish them a birthday shout out, or you'd like for us to also send the birthday shout out on your behalf, be sure to send it through on our comment section, or you can just simply send us a text or voice note to 0604933226. Now that's 0604933226. Let us know what's happening with those birthday shout outs, because we definitely want to celebrate them. Mr. B, please kindly go on with word of the day, as you know that I fumble with that one. I'm going to bite my time, busy trying to pronounce these words. Musi, you want to do the honors over there on the side?
It's fine, I'll take it. So, on a day-to-day basis, we give you words that are aimed at improving our... Hey, guys.
Shout out, Mr.
That I am that
shout out.
our vocabulary.
Shout out, Mr.
Also,
B.
you can
I
do it
see
as
you.
well.
Another part of
see you.
vocabulary, and
I
then
see
what
you.
comes
I
after
see
is
you.
what I zone out. You know, Vooka Nation, as we also take you on a day-to-day basis, we also give you, we aim at words that are aimed at improving your vocabulary. I'm fumbling over it. Musi, please do the honor.
Chief, ka mo se tla be ke siyo mo lefatsheng.
Shapa intro.
Chief, ka mo se tla be ke siyo mo
And
lefatsheng.
I was coming along.
And Mozana, okay, please let's start over, Mr. P. Let's start over. So how do I usually go about it?
The only thing is, somewhere there. So that one.
Okay,
right?
you can omit
On
the
a
one.
day-to-day basis, we aim to give you words that are spoken so that we can improve you and I spoken vocabulary with word of the day. So without further ado, today's word of the day, I had it right here.
It ran away.
No. Because Bengu inspirational messages. But then the word of the day is Satori. Right? That's the word of the day for today, Satori. It is a noun and it's of Japanese origin, Satori. So there's probably like a accent that one has to say Satori, right?
Satori.
Yep. So it's a noun, and this word means a sudden moment of spiritual awakening or deep understanding. A sudden moment of spiritual awakening or deep understanding. And I think the key word there is sudden. So we understand that, yes, you will get a spiritual awakening, but if it's sudden, if it happens instantly, then you just experienced a Satori. Okay? So a sentence example of how you would use this word is, in the silence between notes, she felt a moment of Satori, clarity without explanation. Okay, so I'll say that one more time. In the silence between notes, she felt a moment of Satori, clarity without explanation. So similar words to Satori is enlightenment, realization, or awakening. And I'm going to hand over to Afriberry to give me a sentence example of how you would use the word Satori, which is a sudden moment of spiritual awakening or deep understanding.
Okay. Today's topical discussion gave me a Satori about the fact that I need to go and study more when it comes to the Bible.
That's good. I like that. Anyone else wants to take a stab at it?
After years of meditation, he finally experienced Satori.
Anyone else?
After years of experience, he finally experienced Satori. And I don't know, man, I love these words that, I use on Thursdays because they are aligned with spirituality. So the aim here with all of these words, like I usually say, is obviously improving,
your day-to-day
everyone's
spoken vocabulary.
Yeah, vocabulary, speech patterns, and day-to-day spoken words in J. So yeah, I love Thursday words, man. Yeah, Thursdays and Tuesdays specifically for me. Yeah,
Thursdays gives me Satori vibes, right? Yeah.
Or even with the guests that we have on
Precisely.
Thursdays, one from time to time experiences moments of Satori. Yeah. I remember 2 weeks ago, I think, we had Mkulu Nation.
Yeah, Mkulu
Very
Nation.
engaging conversation, man. Very engaging. Yes, sir.
It was super engaging, Velo, when you had Mkulu Nation here, because I think it gave out not even a moment, but a lot of moments filled with Satori, because we were pretty shocked. I was also pretty shocked at some of the things that he had to say. And, it was like Satori on some other level, and all I wanted to say at that moment was arigato. That's all that I wanted to say is like, hey, but you know what? Mkulu Nation.
What other Japanese word do you know? Since you watch these K-pop, and I know it's Korean, but do you know any Japanese?
And I don't watch Korean, I watch Chinese.
You don't watch K-drama?
The one that I watch is Chinese, but people always throw it under K-drama because it's Asian.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so
What's the difference there?
it's the Asian parts that come with it. So K-pop, even the way they speak, the languages are different.
What language do they speak?
In Chinese, they speak Mandarin.
Mandarin, right?
Yes.
And in Korea?
I don't know what the specific language is, but it's different because I think I've watched another series called XO Kitty. So it's basically based on an American Korean-born girl who's like half Korean, half American, and then she basically goes to Seoul.
To China?
No, Korea. She goes to South Korea, Seoul.
But this is Chinese.
No, this is Korean. I'm trying to tell you how I learned the difference. It's because I was watching XO Kitty. So it's XXX Kitties. It's on Netflix. So that's where they have a bit of Korean spoken in. So that's how I learned to kind of differentiate through hearing the difference that this is Korean and then this is Mandarin Chinese. And then even with them.
But wait, so you don't watch Korean?
No, I watch Chinese dramas, not K-pop.
Okay. But this one you were watching was...
It was the only...
It was K-pop.
Yeah, it was a mixture of American and K-pop in a way because she only spoke English. Her mom didn't teach her the Korean language. But she went to Korea to basically go to the same school that her mom went to. I mean, if I'm correct, I think it is like a season 2 right now. And Leona, it's so weird because it literally also teaches you about the Korean culture and how it's a bit similar to like the Japanese culture, for instance, especially when it comes to like the drinking limit. They are very strict in those two countries. There's literally people who tell pools until the age of 21.
That's good.
I hope, and that's something that I wish we had in South Africa.
When did you start drinking?
I think I started drinking.
Was it before 21?
Yeah, it was before. It was around 18.
Okay.
Yeah, I stole some Elysee from my godfather. He hit the key, but I knew the combination to his briefcase.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's good. That's
so
good
for me, I waited. The same even goes for like officially going out, meeting your chiva. I didn't do that in high school.
Did you say you waited?
Yeah.
For drinking?
Yeah. I waited till I was 18.
Oh, okay. No.
There was excess, but I just didn't do it because
So like in other words, okay, your birthday's tomorrow, ne? And then only the next day, that's when it's like, okay, now I've got the keys to drink, and then that's when you drank.
No, I didn't even wait for my, I think I waited after my birthday.
Okay, no, that's good.
Yeah, I waited after my birthday. My godfather thought I didn't know the combination for his briefcase. That's where he keeps the key.
But
I know.
Yeah, and you stole alcohol.
Hey, my brother, that alcohol I've never seen that alcohol brand again. once I drank at that time. It has never been seen again. Alizé.
Okay.
I never saw it again. So I was like, I'm going to have me some of that Alizé because it sounded expensive. Like, give me some of that. The same goes even for partying. I only been a groove. I attended groove, I think, in 1920. I didn't go out, but I could tell you what I was on drop. Yeah, I was on drop. I mean, I was literally one of those like, yo, show me. Kutlile bara diwa ko kai. When I was hambu yo jive mina ngihlele endlini ngibheka movie Saturday lapha lo nogogo wami eJardini or Friday sibheka ama China SABC one. So ama China mina kudala ngathanda jo. Yabona from a drunken master from a long time.
Hey man, those were good. I mean,
And I
considering that it's like a throwback Thursday.
Yes.
Yeah, some of the movies that I used to watch quite a lot is martial arts movies, and as a result of that, I ended up, taking some martial arts lessons.
What?
Yeah, I did.
So you can karate me.
Not you, Afriberry.
But I'm just saying, not me literally,
Oh, okay.
metaphorically, but you can karate me.
Funny enough, with Mo, we were just talking that, with karate, you learn a discipline to fight, only to go out and not fight.
Oh, I remember. That's also something that you mentioned when we were watching something with TC. What was the name of that movie?
The American Shaolin.
Yes,
Yeah.
the fact that you literally learn and say that you want to learn how to defend yourself, only for you to graduate after getting your black belt, your white belt, and be like, you do not fight.
Yeah. I mean, in my next lifetime, probably in this age, I really want to go and become a Shaolin. I do, desperately so, because I feel like these individuals understand life on a different level. Because, what's this book again? The Monk That Sold Their Ferrari, and all of these books, you sort of get to detach from material things.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the one thing I am currently learning. But maybe I'm becoming a monk in the process, where I shouldn't be attached to any of this, right? Yeah, so if you want my phone, you can have it.
Yo,
Literally
iPhone, go buy iPhone.
But you've got a phone.
But you literally, you're contradicting
I
yourself.
was testing you in your faint.
But you're contradicting yourself. You literally said, if you want my phone, you can have it. I'm like,
yeah,
no, we can exchange. You take this one, I take that one.
But then do you want it though?
No, I'm not really a fan of iPhone.
Exactly. Yeah.
In all honesty, I'd rather prefer somebody, if you were to say, hey, I'm getting you a gift of like a phone, which one you want? I'll go with Android compared to an iPhone. I'm not a fan of iOS.
Dude, let me explain something about the iPhone that not a lot of people might know. Do you know the resale value of the iPhone is very high compared to any of these phones?
Yeah, that one I know. I've also seen when you go to like Pep Cell, you find them selling like an iPhone 16 or an iPhone 12 at a much more higher price. So Pep also has like...
Pep has iPhones.
Yes, they have they have pre-used phones. Pep, Ackermans.
Pep Cell.
Yeah, Pep Cell.
Man, that's interesting.
You can literally buy a used up iPhone at Pep Cell. It's literally there. And by a palut, it's pre-used. So you know that you're
Kinda
not going
makes
to go
sense,
in there and then you expect to be knocked off. No, one thing I know, I've seen that with Pep and Ackermans, you do sometimes get pre-used phones that they also go and resell them. So if you don't want to go and sell your phone or pawn your phone at like your Crash Crusaders, you can literally strike a deal with Pep and Ackermans and have them resell your phone as long as it's still in good condition, because I think they check it to see that it's still in good condition, to see that the money that you want is actually applicable when it comes to them reselling the phone. They're still going to get whatever value they're going to get from selling your phone, from reselling your phone after demanding, let's say, maybe 10K. But otherwise, you do get like an iPhone.
So then why wouldn't you want to get an iPhone?
No, get sharp. Boy.
No, just say why. And then we move on quickly.
Why? Ne? I've never understood that phone. And me and technology are not friends. I can try to use it, but for me personally, and it chows up data. For me, I've seen...
Wait. So in other words, if you're watching a YouTube video and the full video is about 50 megs, so for an iPhone, it will be 100, but for Android, it will be 50.
For me, it's a bit less. You know, the reason why I say this is
No,
because I've
it's
seen
not true.
for some people in my circle who've used both an Android and have also used an iPhone. Some of them have went back to an Android and stopped using an iPhone because but data iyadleka strong, like mawusebenzisa iPhone fanele make sure ukuthi une insurance plan ye data.
But
Like, iyaphela. And I'm like,
what's chowing the data though?
I asked them. The only thing they just told me is like, is your data ntwe.
No,
Like
okay.
iPhone
So-
ha o reka iPhone ba tlo o e reka o tsebe gore gantle wena o di patla mo tsamaya ka di levels o tlo khona for that data. And then now Rasheba, the charge ya yone, it's also very expensive compared to like going to your Samsung or Honor store, going to your MTN and getting like a cable and all of
but
that
let's
jazz.
let's come back to data. So it's not true, right? Because I'm using an iPhone right now. So in
Yeah.
terms of data, it's pretty much like any other smartphone nowadays. Okay. The one thing I will say about data is that it's true to a certain extent back then when sharing photos with Android. If you've got what's this old app that we used to use to share it, ne?
It's still
You-
available.
you-
It's not old.
It's old, man. Who still uses Share It?
Share it.
Some people still use it.
Do you use Share It?
I recently downloaded it for one app, then I'm gonna delete it again. I haven't gotten the app. You know, for
Guys,
some,
come
for
on,
example,
guys,
for some
get with the
people,
times, man.
for
Come on.
example, some people, especially like Endlini,
Yeah.
Banoklupi network. So Toluguti, when they want to transfer an app, Bafood update to WhatsApp, my uncle would rather have me send him the WhatsApp version I have on my phone if he's struggling to literally update the WhatsApp that he has. So that's why some people still keep it, because
Sure,
you get
sure.
that you're at a certain place, connectivity is a problem, but you literally need to text. And then it only
that's
becomes,
valid.
when you go to, like, for example, you log into your Facebook and get messages, it becomes better. But when you download an app, because of like basically the storage unit that it needs, it takes time for some people. So I'd rather have Ishe ED on their phone so that mina mase ngihlupa ngithi downloading update WhatsApp khona utshela ukuthi banele angithumele yabona iWhatsApp ngupdate lapho izinto ezinjani. So that's why they have it.
Okay. No, that's valid. To each their own. I mean, yeah. So no comment on that one. But then in terms of data usage, ne? So obviously on an iPhone, you would have to have your own data to update your own app. And then also when sharing Itombe, because we're not part of the Apple ecosystem, then I would probably have to WhatsApp those photos as opposed to sending them free of charge using Bluetooth. Right? But if someone else is using an iPhone, then I can also share using AirDrop, Google. Right, so there's like pros and cons, but as far as data usage, I see it as more or less the same, right? Depending on which ecosystem you are on. But then if you download WhatsApp here, and we send each other messages or videos of a certain file size, then it is the same amount of data throughout. Okay, but the resale value of your iPhone is quite high. For some reason, it's something that we've conjured up in our heads that iPhone is just better. But I can debate this, but the reality, the objective truth is that if I were to take my iPhone 15, I'd get a much higher return value on that compared to a phone that also came out 2 years ago, whether it's a Samsung flagship or not. So the resale value is high. So if I were to advise anyone to get a phone, I would say, look, are you going to sell your phone maybe in the next 2 years? Are you going to get another phone?
Or probably trade it in, because I see that
trade it
those
in.
have a trade-in option.
Then which phone would be ideal? The iPhone, right? And most of the things that you can do on your Android, you can also do as well on your iPhone. Now, for personal reasons, which maybe I'll cover next time, but because I've got a Windows laptop with my Samsung, I'm able to receive calls on my laptop. I'm able to receive messages. I'm able to sync it with my smartwatch. Then because of that ecosystem, I would prefer Android. But if I had an iPad like Mist here, I've got an Apple Watch and I've got a MacBook, then I'd probably stick with the iPhone. Right?
But in the same breath, can we agree that with Samsung's latest releases, I think maybe let's say in the last 2-3 years, even with Apple's releases from the 14, 15, 16, all the way to recent 17, can we agree that Apple, to a certain degree or extent, is overrated?
I can confidently say that.
Can we agree?
Yeah.
I, for one,
But also there's things in the supply chain that we need to consider. So when it comes to things like Apple Care and support,
Sure.
I'll give you an example. My S22 Ultra,
sure.
Android version 16 that's upcoming is going to be the last version of Android.
I
it
remember
will
we
get,
spoke about that in
right?
terms of the longevity of
The
usage
longevity.
of the device.
Yeah.
Sure. That I understand. I think they both have their pros and their cons, or their lows and their highs, and all these other factors that contribute, right? But when we talk about day-to-day usage, just because ultimately that's where the core of it is, or
For
that's
sure.
where the core of it lies, right?
Yeah.
The day-to-day usage of it, guys, outside of camera, phone, Apple, guys, look, now as I wouldn't call myself an Apple user, because this iPad, there's not much that I do on it, or there's not much I can do on it now. And I guess it's just my reluctance to, fully dive into the functionality of Apple, right? I could have taken measures to make sure I tailor it to suit my likings and everything else. But when we talk about day-to-day usage, guys, let's be honest. Nah, man. Apple is, and when we dive now into things of the ecosystem, nah.
But you see, there's things that Apple gets right.
Definitely. No. That you can't dispute.
So when they lock you into their ecosystem, it really becomes hard for a number of people to switch. Now, one day when you've got a family, you'll see that if you, let's say, get them iPhones, you'll see that even with the upgrades that you do, you'll be forced to stick with Apple because of the lock-in that they have. And the same is also true with Samsung, because they're also trying to do the same thing, where once you've gone fully Samsung, it really becomes difficult for you to switch to
I get that.
another ecosystem.
But in terms of comparing the two, because you've dived in both ecosystems,
Yep.
right? Where are you leaning towards?
I'm still pro Samsung, pro Android.
Android, guys, say what you will. Samsung is fighting, guys. Look, maybe we need to explore these other devices.
Sure.
Oppo, Honor. I remember.
Look, these in terms of ecosystem, Abo, Honor, Oppo, and the likes, they're okay. It's Android devices. For the most part, within the Android ecosystem, they should work.
Sure.
One thing I haven't tested, which I think I should, is maybe take an Honor, connect my smartwatch to it, and see if it will work.
Sure.
Because it's a Samsung smartwatch.
Sure.
So, as much as Samsung is still Android, but they are also optimizing for some features that are Samsung specific, exclusives, that these other phones might not necessarily have.
Sure.
But for the most part, if you've got a smart TV or a smart box, a TV box, with a normal Android phone, you should be able to connect it to your TV, your laptop. But it's just that extra thing that Samsung does.
Samsung
Which, Nakona, they're also locking us into an ecosystem as well.
Yeah. Something very interesting I found out, and I think we spoke about it, but not that much. The fact that Samsung is making more sales selling screens to Apple
That's true.
because of the flagship that Apple offers and just its natural demand throughout the entirety of the world.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that was very fascinating to find out. Yeah, man.
I mean, the same companies that compete with each other
are in business with each
they're
other.
also in business with each other. Another example of that is the chips that you find inside smartphones.
Yes, I heard about that as well.
Apple
yeah.
makes their own chips.
Yes.
And for the longest time, Apple used to have a huge lead on cell phone chips.
On chip manufacturing until COVID, I think, or something like that.
I think about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So now Qualcomm, which is purely a dedicated chip maker, they create chips that go on your Samsungs and so on. But they also do have other ones like MediaTek, as well as their own called Exynos. So compared to the A17 Pro that's here and the one from Qualcomm that just came out like 2 years ago, now Qualcomm is actually in the lead. So they make faster chips than the iPhone. But then Samsung buys chips from Snapdragon. They also make their own chips as well. They also buy chips from MediaTek for your lower end devices. So they compete, but they're also still in business with each other.
Talking about chips, the one thing I found out as well was car chips. That a lot of companies or car brands stopped manufacturing the 2 years of lockdowns and COVID. And I'm not sure which brand it was. But that brand, prior to lockdown being executed, manufactured more than the demand of their cars, right? And so because the world was in a standstill, when things eventually started opening up and people were buying cars again, all these other brands fell behind.
Because they stopped innovation.
Because they stopped manufacturing, right? And it skyrocketed their sales. And these other brands were now playing catch up and trying to make up for the sales that they had lost. As opposed to now, let's open business and we can still continue with businesses. So those things are just very fascinating to find out that a BM would go to a Mercedes-Benz for chips in what do you call this thing? Car keys, things of that nature. Yeah, man, that's very fascinating. And I think maybe it's a conversation we should have, Mr. P.
Yes.
Yeah, dive a bit deeper into it. Maybe also because we have the luxury of having all the flagships in studio. Have the Honor next to the Samsung, next to the iPhone, and see the functionality. Like maybe launch something on all three devices. I know we posted that thing on our.
We can also have Mo's Huawei.
Huawei. Yeah. I know we posted the thing on our Facebook page.
Yes, where you were holding the two phones.
The two devices, yeah. Which one do you prefer? The Apple iPad or the Samsung tablet?
Yes.
Yeah, man, that was also very fascinating. And maybe we should also do that thing as well.
There you go.
Where we put both devices next to each other.
No, that.
And see. There we go. It should be coming up on your screen now. Just to see the functionality of both of them. There we go. So it should be coming up on your screen right now.
That would be amazing because now we have four different devices. Basically, a Samsung, an Honor, an iPhone, and Huawei.
Yeah, true. There are some innovations coming out of China, the likes of Oppo and the likes of. So the one thing that they are now pioneering is, I think, these silicon carbon batteries on the smartphones. And these phones have close to 7,000 milliamp hours. Now, by comparison, a standard smartphone, you've got about 3.5 or at most 4K. Okay, on my iPhone, it's about 5,000. But then these silicon carbon batteries, they allow them to pack the same amount of size, but then the capacity of the battery has been increased. Now imagine having a phone that can last you a full 2 days of use.
That'll be amazing, hey, because
2 days of use.
I think at this moment, I think one other thing that most companies or most these phone companies need to look out for is basically the durability, because we all know that when you buy a new phone, it is possible for it to last you 2 days or 3 days, even if you still use it sometimes, depending on how much you use it in a day, right?
Yeah, so they normally measure it with screen on time. Ne? So screen on time is you can have your phone, but if I don't usually switch on my phone, it's still on, but then what really drains battery kakhulu is screen on time. So the fact that you've got your phone on, the screen is on, you'll see that if you go to settings, there's a way for you to see what is your screen on time. Now, on average, a screen on time is about 6 hours before your battery dies. So you can go a full 6 hours on Instagram and then your battery will die, give or take. But now imagine a phone that gives you up to 15 hours of screen on time. That's insane.
Yeah, it definitely is insane, because I know that most of the time a lot of people complain about the fact that, okay, I just bought a phone, now I used it, but literally after 6 to 8 months, the battery no longer lasts as it should be. So that's probably like one of the other reasons why some people get annoyed and some people end up changing phones very fast. I think that's all in terms of like the battery life in itself. You find that you even put your phone in battery saver and then it's not that bright to also save up on battery. Mara still it dies.
Yeah, yep. The one thing, I don't know if we want to show something here, miss, but let's just hold it up here. There we go.
So these are, it shows you the, so these are my things that I use, my screen on time.
Yeah.
On my phone. And what my phone does is every Sunday it gives me an overlook of what my week looked like. So on a day-to-day basis, I get, what do you call this? My number of steps a day, my heart rate, things of that nature. Now I want to go into like counting my calories and all of those things, right? My carbon intake, my sleeping patterns, all of those things. So that's Samsung Health. And I know each device or each brand has its own version of what health looks like, right? But on a Sunday, every Sunday, my phone gives me a well-being checkup.
To see how well you're doing.
Yeah, to see, so you can see some of the apps that I use, the digital well-being, the apps, internet, and all of those things. So it's very fascinating, man. Very interesting stuff.
I mean, you discovered you also have.
Yeah, but I'm looking at it right now, and I'm like, please, I don't think I have anything recorded, because I tapped that once when you talked about it on the show, but otherwise in terms of notification, calculation of steps and all of that, no, I don't have anything. It's still very much blank.
Yeah, I mean, it's about spending time. I mean, like on my end, some of these things I do not follow because I prefer to track my health through my smartwatch. But it is possible for you to track your number of steps all through your smartphones. And they are building like these modern chips where, using the gyroscope, they can accurately capture the steps that you are taking and so on. So I think, having used an iPhone, honestly speaking, I think for the most part, 90% of the experience between a flagship, because there's a difference, guys. There's a difference between, I can't just say an Android phone, because there's a flagship phone and then there's just a standard phone, right? So an iPhone versus a flagship Samsung phone, for the most part, 90%, they are comparable, right? In terms of feature parity, they're there. And then the differences would then come in with the ecosystem as well as those small other little things. Like with the Ultra phones, you've got a stylus, you've got a pen. If you know that you jot a lot of notes, then this would become something that's handy for you, right? But if you're looking for all-day battery life where you can go about 2 days not charging your phone, then you can look at one of these phones from Oppo, because these are the ones that have your 7,500 milliamp hour battery capacity, which can last you a full day. So they also do have something called Super Vooka, as in VOOC, which is just a charging mechanism that allows these phones to go from 0 to, I think, 80% in about 20 or 30 minutes.
Oh, because I also noticed, even here with this phone, I have an option to supercharge it. So meaning that it charges much more faster and lesser than the normal charging time would take without me basically clicking on the supercharge button.
Yep.
Because I saw that one.
But this one is different. I mean, we've had like your smart or fast charging for quite some time. Ne? This one's different. Now imagine going from, I'll try and get the numbers here quickly, but imagine going from 0 to 80% in about 20 minutes. You can't get that from an iPhone. You can't get that from a Samsung. Remember, there was a time Samsung was in the news because their batteries were catching fire, right? So to protect their brand, they do not really want to innovate that quickly, because if anything happens, then it might cause a huge reputational damage to their brand. So it's these smaller companies or these smaller phone brands that are more likely to take on that risk and innovate. Hence, you've heard stories about the iPhone where these other companies can innovate, and then iPhone comes through and does it better than anyone else. So they start something, but then they end up doing it much more better than the other brands. So with the supercharging, I think it's coming, because this is like insane, where you can get your phone from 0 to about 80 in about 20 minutes. Yeah. That's, I mean, I know the fast charging, but come on, guys, this is on a different level.
Yeah, because I saw with mine, if for example, let's say maybe I want to make sure it lala fastenyana, you can literally activate it and deactivate it. So I can basically, after insetting, because it pops up after putting in your charger. So that's when you have the option to either turn it on or turn it off. And if I literally know that, you know what, I'm not going to use it that much, I know that I can turn off the supercharge option. But if I know that I'm in a hurry and I want to make sure that it gets full, like faster, even if it's like 50%, then I know that supercharge within like at least 5 minutes or so, the phone is good, man.
So have you looked into the numbers of when you activate super fast charging, you can go from 0 to a certain percentage in a certain amount of time?
No, I've never actually looked at it, hey? Because in all honesty, most of the time if I do use superchargers because it's about to die, it's not even literally about to die. It's like literally like 30%. But because I know that I'm going somewhere, I'm gonna use it, I put it on supercharge, but I know that within roughly under 10 minutes, it's probably gonna be around 60 or 70%. Then with that one, I'm done.
Okay.
Then I'm sorted, then I know that it doesn't matter. But the other thing that I also use to make sure that I don't chow a lot of battery is also take down the brightness. But that's not only because of the whole battery system itself or to save up on battery, but it's because I'm also short-sighted, so the light gets a bit too bright for my eyes. Okay. So I need to tone it down.
Okay.
But otherwise, man, I think for me, I like the supercharge.
So given the opportunity, you still wouldn't go iPhone? Like, we get a sponsor, Apple or whatever, like, guys, you've got an option.
If it's sponsored,
but you've got an option, guys. You want an iPhone or do you want any Android of your choice?
S25 Ultra, Samsung Flip. Come on, man. Sheesh. Don't get me wrong. I think I'd be tempted to, for the sake of trying, and what? Not curate, but set the phone to my liking. Just for the sake of trying, I would be tempted to go
Apple
16.
I mean, Angie's been using Apple for
the longest of times. Is she an adamant Apple user like TC? Because TC is also big on Apple. I know she functions like no one's business on Apple.
Yeah,
she knows her way around it. You know,
give her an Apple.
She wouldn't pivot.
Okay. So would you if we got a sponsor, Samsung, and get the latest Samsung S series, 2025, it's Julenka September. And the Apple 17.
She's just shaking her head.
You'd go 17. Okay. You wouldn't even think about it. Okay. But have you used
Android before?
Android, like Samsung, specifically Samsung? Okay. No,
Me, I
that's a
haven't
while
used
ago.
Nokia. I remember when Nokia was basically came back and launched their I think smartphone. I bought it and I used it.
Which one was this one?
I can't remember what the name of it, but I bought it back in like 2022. And then I wouldn't suggest anybody to buy the Nokia smartphones. They are jam. I feel like they
But
rushed.
you see, I had a Nokia Lumia 920.
Yeah, I remember those.
Yeah.
Back in
that
the
was
early 2010s.
That was much more faster than the iPhone. Was more fluid. It even had the best camera.
No, not that one. Remember that Nokia took a break. Like Nokia right now is starting to come back, like same as Motorola.
Through HMD.
Yeah. So those are the ones that
Do you mean the Android ones?
the Android ones. That's the one that I had a problem with because I bought
think
it
the
when
thing
I
is-
saw it. It was affordable and I bought it. Ne? But then the problem is that with
But you see-
Nejema.
But you see, that's the problem. The key word here is affordable, right? If you compare an iPhone, like an entry-level iPhone, like right now the iPhone 17, ne? You'll pay, and I'm talking entry-level iPhone, you'll pay about 18,000. Entry-level.
Yeah.
Because I want us to compare, mind the pun, apples with apples, right? You're paying 18K.
That's funny.
But here's the truth: you're paying 18,000 for a smartphone. That's entry level.
Sure.
Then you want to go and get, and I'm not basing this Google, but then I'm just trying to correct
Generally,
the thinking
sure.
here. You want to compare an entry level iPhone for 18K with what's this phone we have here in studio?
Mobicel Lea Blue.
What's it called? The Vibe. You want to compare that, and you say
can't.
Android is this, and that.
No, you can't.
That's not right.
You have to get at minimum entry level A series, right? The A26.
But there's also
the-
levels to that as well.
Sure, that's what I'm saying. If you want to get on the field, we're not playing it. Let's get on the field and kick the ball around, right?
You need to get the FE,
That's what I'm saying.
the Samsung Fan Edition, because that's also around about 15,000. Yeah.
Fair, right? But let's say like the entry, but I don't anything above 10, Chief. We're not entry level now. Now we're getting into flagship status.
But the iPhone entry is about 18K.
Nah, man, the iPhone 11. Olani bought it for how much?
But when you're talking iPhone 11, now,
Yeah, okay, but that's what I'm saying. You can't say now. That's flagship, man. Anything after 14 is flagship, right? Can we agree? Anything after 14 is flagship. Even 13, I can't even stretch it and say 13. And then anything 12,
we call them mid-range.
yeah. And then anything 12 below, it's like okay, cool. You're an iPhone user, cool. We get that. It's still more or less the same functionality, right? That's what I'm saying. If you want to start to get on the field, we're not playing it.
Sure.
Aska fagi strip, chief. Msashadi tegla minjele umbro or le Nike or and then you balance, and we're kicking the ball around. A series. Wang understand? Okay, let's see, maybe mhlawumbe. But yeah, no, the thing like Nokia, Afriberry, BlackBerry wanted to do the same thing. I think a year or two ago or something. They wanted to come back as well. And when you compare, the reason why the iPhone left BlackBerry so far ahead was that I saw someone talking about the keyboard. It's like there's buttons that people don't have use of. Like people don't make use of the thing. Yes, it was a great phone, and that's why BlackBerry lone isile bo Sony Ericsson ko morago, bo Nokia ko morago, because it was ahead of its time at the time.
QWERTY keyboard.
Wong understand that? Yeah, like that keyboard. It's like sorry, an actual computer keyboard
True.
in your
No, but
hands,
that one,
right?
there was a Nokia that had the same system.
Cause but the software
software
was
of
not
Yeah,
the
the
same.
software of it was.
E63, the software was bad.
It was this one, you could twist it around and something like that. Like it was 2-3 years after BlackBerry had come out with those phones, and it's like, guys, no,
Yeah, but
Sa
still,
tsere mo BlackBerry and
guys,
reduce.
yo, guys, yo.
And then BlackBerry got comfortable. Samsung was like, oh, okay. But they're leaving the market or cornering the market through firstly pinging each other, BBM, you know, you're locked into a system where only you and I can talk.
Sure.
If you don't have BlackBerry, chief, it means you can't chat.
Yep.
Right? And WhatsApp was not such a big thing at the time.
Yep.
Even
And
Mixit
Samsung
was
was like,
not that much of a big
Mixit
thing.
really necessity.
Mixit was a South African thing.
Yeah. And then Samsung was like, oh, okay. How can we corner the market and make things even easier without the keyboard? And they introduced the touch screen. Thus, the J series came through.
Well, it was actually Apple first that introduced a full pane of glass.
Sure.
And then the other
Yeah.
ones followed through.
But Samsung really cornered the market.
They did.
They cornered the
reacted
market.
very quickly.
Absolutely. And BlackBerry was left wanting, chief.
Hmm.
And it hasn't recovered ever since. Nokia is trying as well, but it's like, guys, no.
Even
like,
Motorola is starting to jump on
guys,
that one. They
no,
also
man.
started to launch their own, basically touchscreen phones, smartphones. But
guys,
no, I'm just saying
these
that in
things
terms of basically people
started like
fighting to come back.
They've done this for over a decade.
Sure.
I get it, but what I'm saying is they are now getting on board literally with this.
No, what I'm saying is this
Has been there.
has been there.
It's just that
for-
no one is buying. It's like,
for more than God knows how.
what's
long.
that? Hisense.
Remember the Moto. There was a Moto G6 or
Yeah.
something. It's like over 10, 12 years ago. Full touchscreen.
Hisense as well tried. And there's a girl I know
Hey,
who
man,
used the
Hisense
Hisense.
right
Like,
to my fridge,
it's like,
not-
guys, let's at the fridge and let's at the phone. Like, do you get what I'm trying to say? So now, I mean, the thing is, in America now, if you're an Android user, you're looked down on.
In America,
In
so I've
America,
heard.
right?
Yes.
And there's multiple videos I've seen where girls will literally say, if a guy comes up to me and takes out the latest flagship, the S25 Ultra, it's in September, literally a month ago. That's chief one understand gore o tsamaka S Ultra mo South Africa gore o tsamaka flagship o tsamaka phone entswembo mzala. But in America, if you were to unse S Ultra ya gago,
But are you saying even if I walk up to a girl and I've got the fold, something iPhone doesn't have?
fold, flip, S25 in America, if it's Android, chief, okomorago. But to understand that for them, we jumped onto the iPhone cloud slightly a bit later on. For them, it's a standard phone. For Bonet, it's like a Samsung A04 ene ke tsamaya yone. You know, it's like a phone but when you come to South Africa, it's like, okay, yeah, we get it, but nah, there's a bit of exaggeration and, you know, hyping.
It's WhatsApp, guys. It's WhatsApp that gave us the whole democratization of chat messaging. But if it wasn't for WhatsApp, the same way BBM also captivated the South African market.
iMessage.
Yeah.
iMessage would probably be the thing.
Yeah, but when I could care less, man, guys, I switched because I used to use a Windows phone and I loved it. And
Oh yes, I
hated
remember
Android.
that one, that black one.
Yeah. It's damaged now. Yeah, so but I'm still pro Android because of Android is open source, meaning that you can also create your own phone using Android, or you can create a fork of Android. But with iPhone, everything is locked, but at the same time, it just works. That's what they say. But I've seen this just works is not true. Yeah. They say it just works. All right, guys. Angie,
It's a lie.
does your phone freeze? See? She says it doesn't.
I don't know. I'm just adamant about it. Okay. It was an iPhone what? Okay.
7, that's...
Okay. Okay. And now you use an iPhone? Shoo, okay. This is 21, 22. 21, 22 when you bought it. Okay. Okay. And you're still like adamant, no, iPhone is...
Look at that smile.
Like she beams, guy. But here's my thing, Mr. P. You know, you and I have explored. I know I'm not much of a watch user, you know, but I have friends who use smartwatches who are both Samsung, Flip. Chris, the guy who fished me the last time. Yeah, Chris uses the Flip and a watch. And Kagiso uses the Samsung watch, I think specifically, with an A56, right? Olani uses the Apple 16. I don't know if it's the Pro, but I know it's iPhone 16 with the watch as well. And I observe them. I also want to just experience to see what the watch is about, but it's just not a thing for me, like aesthetic-wise and
there's things
preference and things of that nature.
Yeah.
But when we explored usage of the device with other devices, so this is the watch, this is the tablet, this is the pods, right? Because that's also a thing.
If you're an adamant process of it.
Yeah, if you're a pod user, this is the ecosystem at home. I told you I have Samsung devices at home. So I have the fridge, the microwave, the TV, the sound bar. And it's unfortunate that most of them are not compatible with my phone. But I'm seeing that if they were, because I have tried, and the phone will tell you, no, this version of the TV is what, or the Samsung, the soundbar needs to be upgraded to the latest version or whatever. Right? Yeah, but you can turn your house or your living environment at home into a smart living environment. Home. Yeah, a smart home, essentially. Because I have this thing, you know how when you get to work and your Wi-Fi is on, messages just start coming, like your phone starts vibrating. So that's the thing even with me with the Wi-Fi at home. As soon as I get to my gate, I can already like cast my YouTube to the TV without being close to it. Like the ecosystem is just crazy, man. As soon as I put my pods in my ear, the phone can detect, okay, now he wants to listen to music. And I can it's just crazy. It's just crazy. And I'm not sure about Apple's ecosystem, if it's that efficient, like Samsung's, but yeah.
Especially the AirPods. I mean, they've got what's called the ANC, active noise cancellation. So you can put these on, and they do have what's called an ambient sound, where you still have your earpods in ears, but then it activates ambient so you can hear the environment around you. So rather than you being closed off, you can still hear what's happening. And then with the noise cancellation, essentially it takes what you hear in the real world, it creates a phase shift invert, and then it cancels out the noise, so you are fully blocked in. So when you listen to music, or when you're in an airplane, you've heard how loud an airplane is, like you do the sound there in the cabin. So when you've got these types of earbuds, then you can cancel out these airplane noises. So the latest one, the AirPods 3 that came out, they've improved on what was already a flagship in terms of noise cancellation. So the latest generation, they're absolutely good. Samsung has, something similar, but then with other reviews online, when you check the differences, they still say that Apple's sound is superior, right? Because they take a little bit more sound. But, I mean, for the most part, look, I've got JBL. JBL's has your ambient aware, got noise cancellation as well. It's got all of these things. And I got it for less than 2,000 compared to 4,000 is a Apple, right? So I think with the whole ecosystem, for you to fully experience it, then you're going to have all of the devices that you can test out. But something as simple as your TV remote, I can control my TV using my phone, but guess what I use? The TV remote.
You're saying you can control your
TV using the phone.
Yeah. And I can also use voice gestures to control the TV. I can say, hey, okay, Google, do this. But I don't do that.
Especially when you have when you have the because I saw with Chris's TV, the remote that also takes voice commands.
My one
That's
takes
crazy,
voice.
man.
It takes voice, and with TV ga babes, her TV has a microphone, so it's the Skyworth.
Wow.
So it's got a microphone. So even if you don't have the remote, you can just talk straight to the TV.
Is it touch?
No.
Oh, it's not a touch. I've seen that one as well.
Yeah.
Where it's touch and voice commands. Guys,
Technology.
Touch, but think about it, miss. You've got a TV.
Sure.
And then next thing, say, my fingerprint smudges.
Yeah, but I mean,
why would you want to get a touch TV? Think about it.
I want one. I want one.
It's the same as a friend of mine that I had. Nanani, basically, he had a Siri. Right now, he's back from the UK visiting SA, but he's going to go back again.
A speaker.
Yeah.
An Apple Pod, yeah.
Yo. Mina, I got shocked. I'm like, okay, come through, visit. Must figure hey, Siri, turn on the lights. Oh, guys, what's happening here? And I'm like, okay, these things, for me, it was a bit of a shock because I'm like, it's mostly things that I see like in movies, especially movies in the States. And then now I'm meeting somebody in SA who actually has that. And I was like, okay, so it actually does exist in SA. He connected to such a point that it literally switches on the lights, the music, and then chigi the TV. And I'm like, okay, for me, I feel like it's too much all at once.
Like, once you experience it, I think that's the thing.
It's everyday tech.
Once you experience it, like, but to buy iPhone, once they are there, like, it's hard for them to, And Samsung is really fighting to close the gap that Apple is trying to create. And Apple, we're still ahead, but Samsung is right here, Chief. And once you experience the ecosystem, man, like, I'm seeing with the Smart View, you can use your phone on the TV, like, as opposed to what we have here in studio, like connecting it. Like, it's just crazy. And now I'm fully Samsung. I want to upgrade all the devices that I have to smart devices so that they can be compatible with my phone. And I want to get rid of this iPad and get the latest Samsung iPad tablet, man. And the ecosystem is just too crazy. It's just too crazy. And it's
guys,
the convenience.
Now I want the
it's the convenience. It's the convenience, man. And a Samsung laptop as well. And once you get into it, yo, bruh, like how we do it, the phone how hey Google, Gemini, or Gemini, please cast the YouTube to my TV. I actually want to watch this, that, and the other. And then,
but you see, people can advocate for Apple and say, you've got an Apple TV device, right? You can go, hey Siri, cast whatever, and then it plays on your Apple TV.
Or play music, my Spotify's playlist on the soundbar.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So most of these things you can. The only difference is that Apple doesn't have your refrigerators, your washing machines, dryers, and all of that. But for anyone that's in the ecosystem, fully in the ecosystem, it's hard to switch. So just before we close, when it comes to payments, because it's something we were talking about
the NFC.
Other week, I've got Apple Pay here, and I've loaded my card. But also on my Samsung, I've also loaded the same cards to Samsung Pay.
Sure.
It works the same. Honestly, it works the same. So I don't really think there's advantages over any other ecosystem, Guamanje. But for anyone that's already vested, then that's where the difference comes in.
Fully making use of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because right now, if you want to get me off Samsung, it's going to take a lot.
Oh, Chief.
It's going to take a lot.
Yeah, like Apple needs to do. And here's my thing, and I think the reason I'm saying it's over exaggerated is, look, my phone is decent in camera. It's pretty decent, but it's decent. It's cool. Can make use of my phone for camera usage. The one thing that Apple is getting right, man, is the camera quality, man. Apple is getting the camera quality.
But now, are you comparing a mid-range to...
Yeah, I think I'm comparing a mid-range, and not flagship, because I haven't gotten my hands on a flagship. But the Flip as well, the quality is quite mid-range, I think.
Which one is this? Because remember, with the flips and the fold, what they were prioritizing is the technology of folding phones.
Yeah, okay.
So even with the fold, yes, you do get your 3 cameras, but then they're not the same as the cameras you would find in a S25 Ultra. Because in the Ultra, the cameras are prioritized. With the flips and the fold,
It's all flexibility.
it's mostly...
Okay. There's a guy who'll come through tomorrow. I'll talk to him. I think he's gonna spend the day with us until like 12:30.
Sure.
He just bought an S series, an S25.
Oh, nice.
I'm not sure if it's the Ultra or it's just but he bought it like last month or something like that.
Nice.
So he's gonna come through. So I took my A26, Kagiso's A56, and his is S25, and I try to compare them. Samsung, man, it gets it right, but like it doesn't really scratch that itch for me just as yet. With the devices that I've had in my hands and checked out, or maybe it's like a night and day type of thing.
Yeah.
Because I've seen the flip at night. It's pretty decent. It's quite good, man. It's there's that white thing that happens, and it cancels out the darkness behind you and brings you, closer and slightly brighter and more clearer. So,
optics. Man.
Yeah, man.
It's just
Yeah,
optics.
yeah.
Hey man, it's everything smartphones here, and it's everything amazing because technology is forever changing, forever growing, and forever evolving. And this is a discussion that will still yet continue until next week, because you know that there's always something new in the world of phones and in everything AI and technology. But for me, Afiberry, I hope that you guys had a wonderful and fantastic show with us, and I also hope that you also enjoyed our wonderful insights when it comes to the world of the Bible, today in history, the news recap, and obviously the tech conversation we just had right now. But as I said, for me, Afiberry, also known as Miss Berry Plays, but to the darker the berry, the sweeter than Dunton, Mnandumam Yamam Shlopilik the Katek put Marloko from Baname Watai Komaka is song on a morning. Must there be any final words?
Stay blessed. We'll see you tomorrow.
So short.
That's it, guys. Stay blessed. Stay blessed. We'll see you tomorrow.
Short and simple. Stay blessed.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you very much for watching. Stay blessed, guys.
Yeah. Okay. Hey. Emotional trauma with a prima donna, gasping when she see the commas, laughing to conceal the monsters. I feel like Kanye when he lost his Donda. When my father left me, you were there to heal the pain that conquered. I never pay you back for what that meant to me. Some scars just fade physically, but never leave mentally. It's where people spiritually connected turn to enemies, and memories turn to villain origin accessories. And I'm the bad guy yet again. Spent so much time trying to find who the victim is. It's probably both of us, but neither one is giving in. So here we go again, throwing punches at each other's ribs. Gunshots sting like a buckshot. The pain hits deep, it's like my heart becomes a blood clot. Love dots, you're unblocked. Just to get this message, hope you get it on your bus stop. And then the bus crash, your true intentions unmasked. It should have been a fairy tale ending, but you uncast. I know it hurts bad, but you know you deserve that. We'll never have the life we once had. Hey. Emotional trauma with a prima donna. Hey. Yeah. Emotional trauma with you. I got my problems with you, but I can never get away. I wish my brain had a hard drive that I could reset. Wish I made the right decisions, but it's hard to reject. Moving on, but you got me on both sides of the fence. Left your mark forever, that's without a scar on the flesh. Wish that I was sick and didn't hit the bar when we met, and spent my money time with you just to be in this debt. See you happy somewhere else while I've been filled with regret. Try to find someone to blame, but it's just cause and effect. Hey. I thought that was the truth, cause nothing lasts forever, that's except for me and you. Young and unaware of all the shit that we would do. Try to make it out alive, but didn't make it through. Your parents probably hate me, but my mom still always asks if we're getting back together, even though it ended bad. Forward thinking, haunted by the habits of my past. Precious moments with you, girl, you even met my dad. And any girl after you won't ever have the pleasure. So I guess it's part of why it's hard for me to ease the pressure. So many years, so many times I can't remember. Fear I'll lose them all forever. Hey, yeah. Emotional trauma with a prima donna. Yeah. Emotional trauma with you. I got my problems with you, but I can never get away.